Can't hear you, Diane.
I haven't heard the flush yet.
Nothing yet. Is it your side mic needing to be muted? Or is there like another button anywhere? Still nothing.
I bet she was out of range of for long enough that it switched her mic in the Hangout.
Double check your settings.
Yeah, don't take your headphones to the toilet.
Yeah, actually, I have to second that. Please don't take your headset to the toilet.
Are you still hearing us?
Yes, we can see you waving. Yes, hello.
No,
Okay,
we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Yes, use sign language.
I wouldn't even know what.
Okay. I found the problem.
There you are.
I had hit the kill switch without knowing it.
We're all starting to learn your sign language there for a minute.
Mics do tend to work better when they're on.
Yeah, when they're on. Yeah, make that thing hot, will you? Okay. What I definitely need, you guys are talking about this, I definitely need a better headset because when I go out of range, it does really
like that.
It does really weird things.
That was beautiful.
That was a good example.
Yes, absolutely. So you guys on the side there, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And we're glad you called us.
Scheisse.
It doesn't seem to have a very long range at all. I mean, it didn't look like you went but a few feet and then went.
I went, let's see, about between 14 and 16 feet. When you watched me go over to the microwave oven, and that's what caused the problems. So yeah, this is what do you want from a $40 headset? But that's another story.
Are we live?
Apparently,
we're live, kids.
Are we?
We're live now. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
hi everybody, we're back.
And I was just about to start to swear.
Oh my word.
oh,
Let me tell you guys, don't get old. It isn't worth it. You start creaking up all the time. Well, part of this may also be due to my time at the gym because you do a little of that upper body workout and you start to get a little stiff.
Yeah, my elbow's getting a bit stiff sometimes.
That's what she said.
I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Goodness.
We'd like to do something about that too, but that's going to take even more cash. How are you guys over on the side doing? If anybody wants to jump in on this free for all, you're welcome to come. Tell you what, why don't we? I have a name I can think of.
Well, we've got Americans and Aussies. We need someone else.
Yeah, is anyone like, I don't know, Lithuanian?
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what.
Well, that would bring in the diversity.
There were plenty of Lithuanians where I used to live, but darn thing is I don't live there anymore.
Darn.
Yeah, it's
Chucks.
one of my teachers in high school had this thing. You guys know about WASPs? The white
Anglo-Saxon Protestants?
Yeah. The way Doc Lindsay spoke of the area I lived in, which was Parma, Ohio, suburb of Cleveland, Parma had WUPICs, white Ukrainian, Polish, Italian Catholics.
WUPICs?
Huh.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh's a lot like that as well. Well, Pittsburgh's a Catholic theocracy, let's face it, and it gets on my nerves.
The weird thing is, I could have sworn that like UPIC is also the name of like a Native American tribe or some shit.
Is it? Okay.
I swear that, well, something like that, like they're Inuit or something. I don't know.
Okay. Learned something new today. Thank you, dear. Sincerely.
I'm gonna have to see if I can find that because I swear that's a thing, or it might be something online. Because I'm seeing this, the UPIC portal is a standardized, clear, company-wide identification system. So maybe that's what I was thinking of. I don't know.
Okay.
I
Faye.
can totally see how you'd get that confused with a Native American tribe.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm also spelling it wrong. Maybe it's with a C instead of a K. I don't know. I don't know. But I swear there's something like it sounds similar to that, and it's some like tribe of people who are very, very, very not white. I don't know.
They're very, very, very not white.
That does
Okay,
sound like
that's
a
a
bad
good start to a
song, doesn't
song.
it?
No one knows what it's like to be the not white person.
Okay, for all the people in the side chat, and maybe some of you guys here in the panel, Matt, you started doing that one. Have you seen the parody that Truth Surge did on that song? It was a parody with the subject being Nephilim free.
No, I have not.
Believe it was called Behind Crude Lies, if I remember correctly, and it was perfect. He just cut Nephilim free off at the knees. I'm gonna go.
Well, hell, he does that himself all the time.
Nephilim free. That's someone that I would just absolutely love to never be in a conversation with.
Yeah, happily I have not been in a conversation with him.
That list is growing for me. The list of people I would never talk to, definitely getting larger and larger.
Yeah, there's a couple of people. They know who they are.
Yeah, they
I'm
sure
sorry,
do.
Kate. I'm fucking sorry.
Oh.
I need to at least talk to him once.
I don't know. I just some people just.
So here's the thing.
Found it.
If you'd like to talk to this person, I would recommend going out and buying a large glass bottle of whiskey. It needs to be in a glass bottle because they make whiskey bottles really strong. You're gonna empty the whiskey out onto the ground and then bash your head with the whiskey bottle 40 or 50 times, and you'll get the effect of having a conversation with some of these people.
He has a point.
And then cry over the whiskey you just poured out.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you could put it in another container and save it for later.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I actually I used to hang out at this Irish pub where they would tell you that like when you die, you are suspended head first into a barrel full of all the alcohol you've ever wasted, and if you drown, to hell with you.
Oh man, I like it.
See, something about YouTube happens. Like if you were walking down the street and someone was jacking off into their hand and then smearing it on their face, you'd probably go to the other side of the street and try to stay clear of them. But if you're on YouTube, people are like, you know what? I bet I could have a conversation with that person. I could teach them that the world is not flat and that semen is not an exfoliant.
It's true.
Oh man, yeah. For those interested, the video I was just talking about, the one called Behind Crude Lies, I've put the link in the side chat. I dearly loved it. I dearly love it. It had me rolling on the floor. But of course, I'm weird. The rest of you might look at it and say, what the fuck is that?
I don't know. I mean, look at the company that you keep. We're pretty damn weird ourselves.
This is why I love you guys. Seriously.
Yeah, normal is boring.
Hell yeah.
This is what I always tell people, and they tell me I'm full of it. But
yeah, look at me. I'm just hanging around.
You're a sweetie.
Then hanging around this town.
Hanging around.
Hanging upside down.
By myself.
See, I'm going to have to do the same thing as Notcher and turn myself around the right way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get a bit of perspective so the folk on the other side can see what we really look like.
Yeah, everyone else is upside down, but you're the right way up and I'm upside down. So I'll have
You
to
know what?
Yeah, I don't know what you're
Really
doing.
funny about how Nacho does the upside down thing. I'm fine with that, but when it's the other direction, horizontally, it bugs me.
You know,
Even that's fine. It's straight up and it's yes. Oh God.
What's really weird about Nacha is if he's right way up, the moving background doesn't bother me at all. But when he's upside down, the moving background makes me sick.
Weird.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
roll
weird.
the right way. I try not to focus on it.
Oh, it's
I've
so
got
weird.
an image in plan that's similar to Notcher's, so I don't want to do a copyright strike on what Notcher's looks like. So, but the one I've got in mind is similar, but not the same.
I don't think it works that way.
Okay.
Man, speaking of copyright strikes, a friend of mine, Strike, got one. Somebody didn't like his last movie night. Hello.
Yes. Hello.
I haven't heard anything about the resolution, of that, but I certainly hope it goes well.
How did
it only takes the one.
The hello one or that last one we just did?
Yeah.
Hello,
No, that was the one before. That was the one before.
Yeah, the hello guy is the one who filed the strike with YouTube. And,
that one.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure which dilemma you were talking about.
This is why Cy was broadcasting from Peter's channel Friday midnight rather than his own channel.
I didn't actually know that.
He cannot live stream because of that strike.
Oh, I didn't know
Are you
that.
serious?
I saw it. And I don't watch it because my God, all night and I just can't.
Well, I was gonna say, it's hard for me to believe that someone was able to copyright strike Cy's movie night because I don't know that they've ever gotten through 30 seconds straight of anything.
No,
we actually have not. Well, I think our film to show ratio is about 14 minutes of show to every minute of film. We've gone damn near 8 hours on that show to take care of a half-hour film.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know. I would assume he'll get it back. I did not realize he had his streaming rights taken away. That sucks.
This is what happens. The first time I ever saw that happen, it happened to Michael Jones when he allegedly had already cleared the use of a clip, but supposedly YouTube got him struck anyway, which makes me wonder whether or not he really did get that cleared. But he lost his streaming privileges for 3 months.
I've heard
3
about
months.
Yeah.
Even massive folk have bought proper licenses to music, for example. Like they've got the legitimate license from the publisher, and then YouTube still got involved and still made it a massive deal, even though it actually was. Like it was all legally taken care of. They just got involved anyway and took all the revenue.
Oh, yikes.
Okay, okay.
Well,
I don't even rely on YouTube revenue anyway. It's all Patreon for me now.
Yeah, because I've already learned, and I've only been monetized for like a week, that monetization makes absolutely no sense. They will demonetize a video one day, and 3 days later they'll remonetize it, and you won't have put it in for review. And that just keeps you from getting monetized during the time that your video is actually getting views.
That's what I was going to say. I wonder if that's a strategy of yours.
I don't know.
Matt.
Well, but I mean, I got the impression because a lot of the times when I've had a video demonetized, they usually say, well, it's not appropriate for like the people who are advertising on your video. So I always got the impression that they're just saying, so we're not going to to make any money, and neither are you on this video, that there's just going to be no ads on it at all.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but then like a week later, you might look at the same video and it's now monetized, and it's like,
True.
okay,
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
weird.
sense.
That's totally weird. It's one of
Yeah.
the reasons I'm in no big hurry to get monetized with YouTube. Now, I know that I've got a lot to do before I could even be qualified to do that, but I'm not necessarily in that much of a hurry because it feels like more trouble than it's worth. And I mean, you could be the expert as far as that goes, Matt, with what you've had to go through to even get monetized in the first place.
I mean, getting monetized was a pain in the ass, but like looking at my videos, people talk about it a lot, and you don't make much on ads at all.
You really don't. You have to be like PewDiePie level to make anything
Yeah.
on ads.
So, I mean, looking at like my monetization, very few of my videos are demonetized. So they're all making money in some way, but like the big thing to make money on through YouTube is super chats. Super chats get you a lot more, and they still take 30% of that. But
wow.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, one thing that's kind of funny, man, I was monetized before Google even owned YouTube, right? And like I got monetized maybe a month or two before that transition. And like the people who owned YouTube before, I don't even know who it was. Like I got something crazy like $300, and I had maybe a tenth of the subscribers I've got now, right?
Okay.
And then like Google came in and bought it, and all of a sudden I'm making nothing. And I'm like, wow, what happened here?
Yeah.
So
obviously Google happened.
Yeah, they're greedy motherfuckers, is what they are.
That is definitely true. But then there is also the account for the explosion that YouTube faced of creators that they now had to deal with. Like 1,000 subs might have been a big thing back, years, or not 1,000, but 10,000 subs, 20,000 subs. Whereas nowadays,
Actually, it
a
was
million
1,000.
subs isn't that much. Well, this is what I mean.
Oh.
But even nowadays, that's nothing. Like you really have to go a lot further than that, as you were saying, before AdSense is going to pay, because they have a million other people that are close to that mark that they can't pay them all the bucks they used to.
I'm not
and that's
sure
just
that's
the
what
small
it.
side.
I really don't think that's what happened, honestly, because I mean, hell, if they're advertising, I mean, I'm pretty sure you just get a percent of the ads. It's not like they're just paying people for being there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't matter like how big your channel is. It's how many views you get when an ad is on there, how many clicks you get. That's it. So there was no reason at all for them to decide, oh, and now we're going to pay you a smaller percentage. That just made no sense.
Okay.
Sounds like they're gouging.
To let you know, one of my videos was released like 3 days ago, and the estimated revenue on that is $4.04 in ad revenue.
Hey,
but
don't spend it all in one place.
But like the thing is, a channel. Okay, so like you could have a channel with 1 million subs, and if nobody watches ads or clicks through, that video is not going to make any money. It happens from people clicking ads and from watching ads that start at the beginning of the video. So watch the ads on my channel, people. Please watch the ads on my channel.
I don't use
I know
Google.
that there are actually some people out there where they're like mega fans of certain channels, where they deliberately click the ad just because they love the channel.
Oh yeah, and if you see a PragerU ad on my channel, which some people have, click the shit out of that, because it's taking money from PragerU and putting it into my pocket.
Yep.
So
Well, and I don't know if you're not allowed to do it anymore, but there was for a while a complete prohibition. Like if you mention, please click the ads on my videos, Google would be like, no.
Yeah, I was making that a joke.
No, but I'm serious. Like they actually, because people tried it, and then Google was like, no.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can't
so
actually
they
tell
really don't
people
want to
do
pay
that.
out. I got you.
Yeah.
Brought up another good one. The YouTube Premium, YouTube Red.
Yes, if you have YouTube Red and you're watching a video of mine that has been demonetized, I still make ad money with YouTube Red viewers.
Yeah.
So
I watch the normal Google streams through through YouTube. I don't get the chats, but if I go to Google Chrome, yes, you get the ads.
what just happened? Oh, Wonder Lady joined us. Hello, Wonder
Hey,
Lady.
Hi, Faye. How you
Hello.
Hey.
doing? Yeah.
How are
Hello.
you?
Hello.
Good.
Lady,
Good to see you.
Wonder Lady. The
Aww.
Wonder Lady, Faye.
Firebrand Faye.
Arr.
Wow.
That's what it should be.
No.
Hey, Faye's theme song should be Lady. It's the Wonder Lady, lady. It's the Wonder Lady, Faye. She'll fucking kill you, lady.
I am picturing Faye at a full sprint in that costume that Linda Carter used to wear for Wonder Woman.
Instead, switch my outfit for Boudica's.
Okay, that'll work.
Oh my.
Man.
So what you've been doing with yourself lately, Faye? Anything that the people in the side chat want to see or want to talk about?
I've been reading people's short stories and tearing them into little pieces.
Oh,
Oh,
Literally?
wow. I'd almost like to be there to see that.
did you kill Brooke?
I was going to
I
ask that.
did not kill Brooke, although I didn't like the tone of her voice at the end. I think I punctured a balloon, but she said it kind of like, instead of discouraging her, which I didn't want to discourage her, I'll be clear about that she feels like she must prove herself. And I like that.
Good.
I've obviously
resilient.
missed something here. What is this about?
Faye murders people.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god!
I mean,
Good
the thing is,
Lord.
it sounds ever so vaguely familiar, but
I've been reading people's short stories and reviewing them,
okay.
and setting believability and construction.
Okay.
And I had 2 people submit work, and neither one of them got out unscathed.
There's always room for improvement. I'll tell you. No, even if you're Kurt Vonnegut, there's room for improvement.
Oh, that's blasphemy.
You, Snarky, would have
I make
hated.
I make the same writing mistakes as everybody else. The only thing is when you're in it and it's your story, you fall into your own pitfalls.
Yes.
And it's just things to look out for, because if you really want to tell a good story, sometimes you have to trim the fat and other times you have to add it.
A high school girlfriend of mine loved to tell the story about how she insulted Vonnegut in person. I guess he was delivering a talk at the university she was at, and he said something about back then it was easier to get published, and allegedly she piped up with obviously.
Oh my God!
Ouch.
Yeah, it's like Vonnegut happens to be, if he's not my favorite fiction author, he's in the top 5.
Yeah.
I mean, I love his dark style.
Well, Slaughterhouse 1 through 4 weren't that great, but
No, they
5
weren't.
was amazing.
Yes, it was.
I don't like that book.
I love that book.
I've actually never read it. I think I saw bits of the movie, but I never read the book.
It's a trip.
It's the subject that I don't like.
Oh yeah, well that whole Dresden thing, yeah, it's kind of depressing.
Well, no, if you add in a bit of OCD
Okay.
to the audience who's reading it, Slaughterhouse-Five can be like jarring in a bad way.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, I'm not knocking his style at all. It's just subject matter. I prefer other
I think my
stories.
favorite of his would be Cat's Cradle.
I
one
really
about-
liked his. I liked his memoir, "Man Without a Country."
Yes.
Okay, okay.
It's a really good book, and it's a short read. I mean, you can read in a few hours.
I've
What's
got
he?
to go.
By the way, speaking of things that you can read in a couple of hours,
Yes, dear.
were you the one who recommended to me that thing, like, what was it, The Yellow Room, The Yellow Lady, The Yellow Dress, whatever the hell that was, the really short story about the woman who's going mad?
The yellow wallpaper, and that was me.
That's the one. Okay, yeah, I read that, and I don't know. My skirt was not blown up by it.
It
Well-
wasn't supposed to blow anyone's skirt up, though.
Well,
Were-
what I
were you
mean is
wearing a skirt?
I did, ow, Columbia, stop that with the claws.
You gotta wear a skirt to get it to blow up. I mean,
Yeah, I'm just saying is that it didn't strike a chord. I was reading it and going, and I don't know.
I
What's
have
the-
yet to read that. A friend of mine gave it to me about 6 months ago, and I still have to pick it up and read it.
Well, one thing that's kind of weird about it is, like, I found it on Amazon for my Kindle, right? And like, one example of it on the Kindle store was giving it away completely. Another one wanted to charge 99 cents for it, and I'm like, what's the point? I don't know. It was weird.
well, the one that's 99 cents might actually have some edits. When it comes to some books,
Hmm.
I have noticed that you can find some that are free that haven't been edited very well.
Gotcha.
Okay, okay.
I don't know. It's weird. I've been looking for something new to read because I feel like I've been rereading the same stuff over and over and over. But everything that I've found that's new has bored the crap out of me, like, almost right away.
Well, if you don't mind nonfiction, I know it's old, but how about Gödel Bach?
The wah. You might need to
Right.
clear your throat before saying that again. I don't know.
What genres do you like? Do you like the sci-fi stuff, or do you?
Oh,
like...
yes. I loves me the sci-fi, I does.
Oh,
what's this
Isaac
book?
Asimov, or
Well, I mean, I tend to go more for, say, what the hell's her name? Lois McMaster Bujold, the Vorkosigan saga, that sort of thing. For a while, I was reading a fair amount of the Honor Harrington series, but it got to the point where I'm like, if I ever hear the phrase bomb pumped lasers ever again, I'm going to kill somebody. So, yeah, I got really sick of those books. They got to be so repetitive, but they were fun at the time. And I think it was Elizabeth Moon wrote something called the Harris Serrano series or something. I was enjoying those. I haven't read them again in a long, long time though. So I don't know.
How about Philip K. Dick?
No.
No?
No.
Amazing. I love Philip K. Dick.
Well, and I mean, I loved Ready Player One, and I read it long before it was a movie. So
I don't know if this is up your street. Some years ago, I read the first few books of the Dark Tower series. I absolutely
Stephen King?
I absolutely love the Dark Tower series, and I can't stand Stephen King.
Okay, so a really good book, if you haven't read it, it's an Arthur C. Clarke book. It's Childhood's End.
Oh,
I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever read it.
It's really good.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, right now I'm going through Fool's Company. Of course, I've read it many times. Has anyone ever read Callahan's Crosstime Saloon?
No.
That sounds really familiar.
It doesn't sound familiar.
I've heard of it.
I really enjoy Spider Robinson.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, if we're going to talk about Arthur C. Clarke, I mean, I do like Rendezvous with Rama.
Yes, that's the other one I was trying to think of when I came up with Childhood's End. But if you liked Rendezvous with Rama, check out Childhood's End. Childhood's End is really, really good.
Oh, and as much as I dislike his politics and his religion, Orson Scott Card, Ender's Game, gotta love it.
You know what? I really liked what's the name of the book? L. Ron Hubbard's sci-fi book.
Dianetics?
No, the sci-fi book.
Like Dianetics, that was some good stuff.
His sci-fi book.
Battlefield Earth.
Yes,
Next
Battlefield
thing
Earth.
I know, he's
really
going to be
liked that
jumping
book.
on a couch on Oprah's show.
Yeah.
Battlefield Earth is a good book.
The movie
Wait a
was
minute.
god awful.
It was.
But
You mean
Well,
Hubbard actually wrote something decent?
Yes, Battlefield Earth is good. It's a great story. Now, it basically is a copy of all kinds of other tales that follow the same narrative, but it's really good.
Well, I just might have to find it then. Because I was under the impression that
sometimes, but I mean, I love Stranger in a Strange Land and Starship Troopers.
Yes.
And
yes.
Gosh, what's the other one I'm trying to think of? Red Planet, I think it is. But every now and then, like The Cat Who Walks Through Walls, no, not good. So,
One I dearly loved was Fahrenheit 451.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't him.
No, that was Bradbury.
Right.
I was just about to mention The Martian Chronicles by Bradbury.
Oh, yes. Oh, God. It's been so long since I've read that. I'm going to have to reread it.
I wanted to like those and just didn't.
I love The Martian Chronicles.
I think I was about 15 when I read The Martian Chronicles. And that may have a bearing on why I liked it so much then. Because, I don't know, maybe the same thing would happen to me as happened to several other books. I read... let's see now. Catcher in the Rye when I was about 11. I read When Worlds Collide when I was about 13. Loved those books at the time. Fast forward about 40 years, and I try to read them again, and I'm thinking, why the hell did I even like this stuff?
Yeah, I tried getting into Catcher in the Rye, and it got on my fucking nerves.
Yes, that is such it's an awful book. It's not a good book.
It is.
It's poorly written.
Yes.
It's just ugh.
I went through about 5 years ago now. I went through this period of time where I was like, I am going to read every book that has been banned. And so I was looking at the big ones, and Catcher in the Rye is one that was banned everywhere for a while.
Yes.
And I read that book, and I read through it, and it's like, this is just a garbage book.
Yeah.
Like, why would anyone ban this? It's not good enough that people would actually read this book if it wasn't banned.
Because there were a couple of people that were like psychopaths that liked it. It was like on a list, like the FBI list and everything. If you checked it out, then you were monitored. And see, the thing about it is basically like I don't guilt the FBI at all, because if you like a book that's that bad, we need to watch your ass.
Yes, absolutely.
I've not only never read it, I actually have no idea what it's about. I assume there's catchers and they're in the rye. I don't know.
It's not about much of anything, to tell the absolute truth. It's Holden Caulfield is somebody who leaves university and tries to do something with himself and fails miserably, and all kinds of side shit going on, and it's like, what the hell? He's a whiner is what he is.
Awful.
Yeah, he's a character that you can't like.
Right.
And he's looking for things that you can't find. And it's just so dumb.
Another book that's absolute garbage.
Franny and Zoe?
No, The Great Gatsby. That book is fucking garbage.
I have not read that
and people
one, so
call
I
it
shall
the Great American Novel, and it is garbage.
You know, it's
Okay,
funny.
man.
For some reason, just because of the name, I thought it was British. Gatsby does not sound like an American name.
No, it's
Okay.
another one of those F. Scott Fitzgerald's
Yes.
attempts, but
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I disagree about the garbage part, but
Oh.
Did it come out in a movie?
Yes,
Yeah, there has been a
it was a
movie.
movie.
Oh, and
It's-
Purple Rhymes with Orange makes a mention that I remember fondly. Excuse me. Arthur Clarke's short, "The 9 Billion Names of God."
Oh, Kate, do you like sci-fi horror books?
Books, no. Movies, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna mention it anyway because it's a great book. I Have No Mouth, But I Must Scream.
I've heard of it.
It was made into the very first
Sorry.
horror video game, like way back.
That's probably why I know it.
But it is a very good book, and it is really, really odd, and it's very sci-fi.
See, odd is usually where books lose me. I like them a bit more straightforward.
Okay.
Kate likes them straight. That's something we didn't know that we would hear.
You think you're funny, but you're not.
Is that the
I am
problem?
too. I am funny. Don't say that.
Does anybody know who F. Scott Fitzgerald is?
Oh,
The
yes.
name's familiar.
We were just talking about Gatsby.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's awful.
Uh,
Anyway,
Disagree.
he's pretentious. His books are horribly pretentious. They're about an American dream that never actually existed.
That's
okay, again, like I was talking about how I'm reading Fool's Company by Robert Aspin right now. He also did something called the Bug Wars. That's basically if Starship Troopers had the humans be lizards instead. Like there's not a single
I like it.
there's not a single human in the entire book, which I think is awesome and is done so rarely. And usually done badly when it's done. But it basically is Starship Troopers where the soldiers are lizard men.
Wow,
And
that'd be good.
it's actually really good.
Oh, you
I'd
know
like to see the
what?
movie.
That brings to mind. You're talking about few or no humans. I loved The Gods Themselves. Asimov.
Never heard of it.
Asimov. It's about humans on Earth find a way to obtain infinite energy, but they're doing it at the expense of an alternate universe where they're sucking electrons out of that. And then you get the stories of the people involved on both sides, and the stories with the amoeba-like creatures. Fantastic. Yeah, that drew me in. I'm gonna have to pull that one out and reread it. The Gods Themselves.
Sounds good.
Hmm.
Kate, do you like Star Trek novels?
Novels, no.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. Usually, if a book is based on like say a TV show or a movie, I usually avoid it.
Wait,
Oh,
you're not talking about James Blish, are you?
No, I was gonna say the Star Trek Destiny books by David Mack basically are about the final confrontation with the Borg. They are really good.
I
what happened?
kind of annoying. Until then, I always pronounced it futile instead of futile. And it just sounds weirdly pretentious when they say resistance is futile. Plus, because of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, when the Vogons were always shouting resistance is useless, not futile, I was always like, come on, guys, you're getting it wrong over here. So, but that's just my personal thing.
Resistance is useless.
Useless. I like it.
Right.
You know, sometimes I find myself wishing that the Vogons would appear over the U.S. and just vaporize this place. And the world would be better off for it.
Well,
I'd like some advance warning, please.
Have you checked the board at the local Galactic Council?
No, I have not. Come to think about it, I can't get past all the cobwebs trying to get through there.
Yeah.
Yes, or the leopard.
Yes, yes.
I would like to show one of my most proud possessions.
Oh my word!
It's
hello, hello.
The ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. A beautiful book with all the books, and none of the shitty books that happened after he died and people tried to write like him.
So wait a minute. This one goes up to Mostly Harmless?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, this one has Mostly Harmless.
A trivia question for you, Matt. When does 42 first get mentioned in that book?
Oh, crap. It's okay, because it's not where I'm assuming it is. You have to ask this when I'm drinking.
Oh, the 40.
Wait a minute. Is it when they're playing with the Scrabble tiles?
No, it's the 42nd page.
Yeah.
It'll have to be. It'll have to be.
Oh.
Here we go.
I don't know.
I asked the question while I'm drinking, so you should be able to answer the question while you're drinking.
Yeah, but you're Australian and drinking, so that's just like water for me. I mean, you have to have like a blood alcohol content of 1.0 to even be Australian, don't you?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, actually, one sci-fi book that I really loved, and not just because it's based on my favorite movie, was the novelization of Tron. Just because they cleared up so many things I'd always wondered about that movie, just little bits of the universe and the history of it, where I'm like, oh, that's what that thing meant. I always wondered about that since I was a kid. Just little things like that. And it was really cool.
That's why Tron Legacy is such a good movie.
Oh, bite me, bitch.
Damn fighting words.
I will have to say that sort of thing happened to me with 2001. Because once I read the book, I understood what the hell was going on screen, but it took reading the book to understand it.
Honestly, I hate that movie so much. But then again, I really don't like Kubrick, so...
Well, if you've never read the book, the movie makes no sense.
Really. Right, yeah. Right. That's
actually,
exactly
you know what else is like that? Dune is like that.
Yes, true.
I can't do that, Dave.
Yeah, the 2001: A Space Odyssey, the book is great. For some reason, they cut out so much of the book that would have made the movie decent.
Yeah, like the explanation of what was going on at the end.
Exactly. In the movie, you just see this floating baby in space, and in the book, it actually explains it. It's like, why would you do that to people who paid money for this movie?
Well, I'm told that watching the like that end sequence when he's going through whatever the hell that was he was going through, like wormhole looking shit, is apparently amazing when you're like tripping or on acid or something. And I'm looking at it, and I mean, yeah, I've dropped acid once or twice. By the way, Tron on acid is amazing. But I would find that so stressful if I was tripping. Watching that scene, there's no way I'd ever want to do that inebriated.
Yeah, I think it's.
Does the movie even go into any explanation of what the monoliths are?
No.
Not to my recollection, no.
Yeah, so they start with a monolith, and then they're going to find a monolith, but they never tell you why these monoliths are important. Why would they not do that?
Right.
Well, I mean, you can sort of figure it out from context, but you kind of have to have read the book to really know.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's like the movie adaptation of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is garbage.
Oh, I agree with you there. Oh, do I ever.
It's okay if you're like, okay, this is the Crib Notes version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is not going to be a great movie. But if you went into it wanting to see a great movie and you've heard the radio series, You have watched the TV series, and everything has been amazing. And then Hollywood gets a hold of it, and you're like, this is going to be incredible because everything that's been made, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, has been great. And then you watch it, and you're like, oh my God, someone just jacked off in my face.
Well, that's because they got so much wrong. They left out so many things, and they changed so many things. And I'm just like, why would you do this? This is not how this movie or how this story is supposed to be told.
If I remember correctly, did they not try to turn that into an action-adventure sort of thing?
Something like that.
Which it really doesn't fit.
Normally, if something is a book, I won't watch it.
I'm trying to think, has there been like a book to movie translation that was decent? I'm trying really hard to think of one.
You'll be there for a while.
Okay,
yeah.
So Blade Runner is a really good adaptation of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sleep or Sheep?
See, I never liked Blade Runner, and the reason why really is just because it is so deathly slow. And when I say that, people think I'm saying I want like a lot of action scenes. No, I just want them to be able to say more than one sentence a minute. Like there's that scene where What's-Her-Face and Harrison Ford are up in that apartment, and she's looking out at like the rainstorm and stuff, and they speak so slowly. And there's just this whole like pause between each sentence. I'm like, get the fuck on with it.
What's amazing about that is that the book is actually really short.
That's how I felt about episode 2 of Star Wars. It was just bleh.
I will say though that with Blade Runner, I suppose that would be one reason to have one of those 12-foot diagonal televisions, so you could get the whole effects thing. But that's about it.
12-foot diagonal TVs?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
When I go into a store that has electronic stuff and I see the like 5-foot televisions, I mean, what the hell do you do with those things? Well, I'm not a television watcher. Anyway.
But I've never seen one that's diagonal.
No, okay. I guess I'm showing my age because televisions used to be classified by diagonal measure.
They still are.
See,
they still are.
I was just picturing a TV that was.
That's how you measure the TV.
Yeah,
because you know the aspect ratio, so now you know all of the dimensions. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just not what I was picturing from the way you described it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I was gonna say, I have a 70-inch TV, and I like playing games and stuff on it. Like my 70-inch TV is great for games and movies.
I wouldn't have the space to put a television in here is the problem. I've thought of getting one from time to time, but I mean, look at this place. This is my living space right here. Where am I going to put a television?
I have a coworker.
Well, mine's up on my wall.
Yeah.
Well, my problem with the walls is my walls are masonry.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a coworker with a smaller apartment than you, and they have over 100-inch TV.
What the actual fuck?
Like, to me, it's actually annoying the size of that TV if you go in, because you can't actually just watch it. You have to be turning your head back and forth to see everything.
Oh God, pan and scan. I hate that shit. Okay.
Well, if you want to talk about it, I don't know exactly what they did to this television, but I have some friends back in Seattle who had this gigantic TV, but they had the sharpness turned up so much that nothing looked real.
Yeah.
There was just something about whatever the hell they had done to their television set where everything just looked weirdly alien.
Okay. Now, the weirdest thing I ever knew of was a friend of a friend actually had a 35mm projector and screen in his basement.
Well, that's creepy.
Yeah. Try to watch that.
Well, actually, one thing that's kind of funny that I have available to me, I haven't used it yet, but it could be a lot of fun, is Oculus Rift, the VR system, has a way to watch movies in VR with friends who are not in the room with you because they're clear across the country or whatever. Like you can have Netflix or Hulu and you have a virtual IMAX where you can just totally watch the movie with a friend.
Yeah.
That sounds so cool.
I have
Yeah.
heard about that.
Okay. Sounds interesting.
What's funny
Yeah.
is growing
It's
up,
probably way
I
out of my
remember
budget too.
Wow.
You a couple $100.
growing up,
That's out of my budget this week.
our big TV when I was growing up was 19 inches,
Yeah.
and now I
Yeah.
have the 70-inch TV. But yeah, thinking of the and the big TV sat on top of another TV that didn't work anymore. One of the wooden stand TVs.
That's the one that really got me about the Slimy Bastards. The television that they watched all the time was a portable. It might have been like an 11-inch or something like that. That sat atop a Curtis Mathis console television that they hadn't turned on in 15 years. And they paid $1,500 for this television just to use it as a stand for the portable. You know, what the hell is wrong with
Why? I don't even understand.
That's what I say. They were weird, and remember now that I grew up in their household, so now you're starting to understand why I'm so weird.
I don't know. I grew up in the household with the hippie parents who wanted to monitor my TV so that I would not see any violence. They didn't care about sex, but they did not want me to see violence. Like for a long time, they were really resistant to even letting me watch the Star Wars movies, just because they figured, well, if you see violence, you're going to be violent, so you can't watch violence on television.
Lord.
Yeah.
Not
even violence.
I used to catch all kinds of shit about that with the Warner Brothers cartoons. You know, it was De La Gura at the time to complain about all the violence, especially the Roadrunner and the Coyote and the whole bit like this, totally forgetting that Roadrunner and Coyote, for example, is just the futility of life.
Well, and you're really going to be smashing your friends with anvils.
Allegedly, and I don't know if I can believe any of this stuff or not, there was a case or two where some kid actually did hit somebody with a hammer. I don't know if that's the case or not, but it's so isolated that it's, you know, something's wrong with the kid, not the cartoon.
Yeah.
God damn.
I like how you learn a lot about physics in the Roadrunner.
Yes, when you run off the edge of a cliff, you're hanging in midair long enough to to hold up a sign that says "Oh no," and then you fall.
Yeah. and to blink nervously, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah.
And when you get blown up, you don't actually get blown up. You just lose your feathers or your skin.
Oh, we don't learn that. Like the place I'm going to learn that is a video game, obviously. I mean, because you die, you come back. That's all there is to it.
What I really liked about those is I learned that when you get blown up, you become a pile of ashes with your eyeballs in midair going blink, blink.
Yes, that, and there are many times when you don't get your earth-shattering kaboom.
Yes, yes. One of my favorite cartoons of all time is I forget the title of it, but it's the one with Bugs Bunny running into the Gremlin in the B-17 where the Gremlin is screwing everything up. That is gonna be one of the favorites.
Sabotage.
Yeah.
Oh, also, Albuquerque is where you should not be taking turns.
Right.
Or actually, no, where you should be taking turns.
Because the best part of the cartoon, the one that's my favorite, I mean, the whole thing is great, but the end is brilliant. Where the B-17 just stops inches above the ground as it was in its nosedive, and then Bugs is hanging out the window with, that's what you get with these A stamps. on the a comment about gasoline rationing at the time.
Oh.
And when a kid gets that, the kid's doing pretty well, which I'll have to do one of these. But I don't know. Everybody seemed to think that nobody could get any of that stuff. That they didn't get the other layer of the cartoons because they were made for the kids and for the adults. And in my opinion, the wartime Warner Brothers best ever. But,
well, there's actually a cartoon from, late 80s, early 90s, an episode of Chippendale's Rescue Rangers called The Curse of the Cola Cult that is actually a really, really good episode where it's basically these mice, well, they might have been rats, I forget, found this commercial for something called Cuckoo Cola.
Yes.
And they had developed this wacky cult surrounding it, and there's this song where they watch "You Belong," feel the fizz of Cuckoo Cola. It's so much fun.
It's the cola for making you proud. Take
Yeah.
another sip and be one of the crowd.
And it really, but the thing is, they actually really go into something that looks like a real cult. Telltale should be covering this with the Bite model.
It was great.
Yeah.
Lavender Lady, I'm going to have to jump off of here. Mrs. Snarky is welcome to stay, but I have to go for now.
Well, it was wonderful having you, Matt. Really, it's pleasure talking with you every time I do it, and thank you for being here on the show. And I'm going to try to remember all the wisdom that you imparted and try to make some use of it.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. We're going to have to do this
That's
more
what
often.
she said.
Bye, everybody.
Take
Have
care,
fun.
sweetie.
Bye.
Don't get run over.
Oh, boy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set the headset down and fill my coffee, and I'm going to be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, as much as I've been eating Fritos and drinking Gatorade, at some point I should probably have a real dinner, but I can wait a while.
Okay.
It's amazing how long you can last on snacks before you realize, oh God, I need something proper in my belly.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a while since I've made a stir fry, and I could always have pasta. So.
Oh, I love stir fry.
Yeah, I've actually been experimenting with basmati rice and chicken and string beans and snow peas, which I really need to get more of, and also broccoli, of course. Broccoli is amazing. I love broccoli.
Yes. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I actually tonight I made my own rendition of the Taco Bell Crunch Wrap. It's really good. I don't know if y'all have those.
Well, I haven't eaten at Taco Bell since the Hoover administration, so.
I don't blame you.
Well, one thing that's kind of funny is everyone kept telling me, oh my gosh, San Diego has the best Mexican food, even better than Mexico. And I've been eating it and I'm going, this stuff's good, but it's not that good.
No.
I don't
know.
I got some decent Mexican food in El Paso. But then again, this was in 85 or something like that. I don't know if things have changed or not.
I make pretty decent Mexican food, depending upon. Well, I only make a few things, like enchiladas and quesadillas and stuff like that. But I can make pretty good Spanish rice.
Well, I've developed a real taste for burritos. And also, before I moved here, when I was living in Seattle, there was this one Indian restaurant where I developed a real taste for spicy food, right? So there's this Mexican joint really, really close by here that has this El Diablo burrito. And it lives up to the name. The first time I had it,
oh no, Kate's freezing.
That isn't just me? Yeah, you broke up a little bit
she's
there.
freezing up a little bit there.
What about the Diablo burrito? The first time you had it was where you trailed off.
You're talking.
Can't even hear you.
Your stream got too spicy.
Yeah, something went wrong.
I guess so. Throw some milk on it.
I'm looking.
We can see
everybody
you
else
still,
is fine.
Yeah, we can see you, but we can't hear you for some reason.
Yeah,
Just sign language.
What happened to your audio? It just went.
Finish your story off with sign language, Kate.
No, God damn.
I don't think it's anything on this side because everybody else.
One word, because is it a movie or is it a
doing charades?
One word.
You take
are you
care.
jumping out?
Yeah, okay, she's jumping
yeah,
out.
she's jumping out.
Back in or
Yeah,
not,
maybe.
but we'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, it's been a long time since I've had some decent Mexican.
In the food sense.
Say again.
In the food sense, she's talking about.
Yes. No, in the other sense, I haven't had any. I'm a little bit. I'm a little cosmopolitan, but that's one area I haven't sampled. What
Bit too spicy for you?
Maybe. I wish I had the cash to get around more, because I do miss traveling around. It was so wonderful to go to Illinois back in 17, because that got me out of Pittsburgh on a long, for a decent stretch of time, for the first time since I got here. And I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. Come Labor Day, I will have lived here half my life. I will have lived here 31 years come Labor Day. And that's, whoa.
That's a lot more common than you think. Most of the people that live here in Iowa, in this state, they've lived in the same spot for at least 40 years.
Yeah, that's what I find with people. If they do move, either you move a long way away or you just move a little way away.
Yeah.
I know people out here in Pittsburgh who were born, do live, and will die in the same damned house.
Yeah.
That's
right. Very common.
And then I also know of families who have stuck together in the sense where one family owns an entire block of houses.
Or a farm or a property, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, up one side of the street and down the other side, everybody in that family owns it.
As long as they don't interbreed.
There you go. Back when I was living in Parma, there were two sisters that bought adjacent houses. I thought
I want to do that.
Okay. If it works, what the heck. I miss getting around because, well, if I could afford it, I would probably be in Chicago right now. But the problem is affording it. And it's weird. I hate large cities, but I love Chicago. Don't ask me why. I miss Phoenix. That's another area I miss. I never did get next to the water on the west side, but maybe one of these days.
The most beautiful place I've ever traveled to was Cozumel. And it was unfortunate because I was 11 years old and I really wanted to see the Mayan ruins there at Playa del Carmen.
Okay.
And we took the ferry across to the mainland, to the Yucatan Peninsula. But my dad wasn't interested in seeing the ruins because they were pagan and So, yeah, but I mean, I did get to swim in the Caribbean. I got to drink out of a coconut and It was just an amazing experience walking in the markets and haggling with the merchants and stuff. It was amazing.
Shit that doesn't happen here.
Yeah. It's a
I
cultural
might have
thing.
to pop out. Sorry.
Okay, no.
I might have to pop out. If you guys are going for a little bit, though, I should be able to drop back in a little bit. So,
Okay.
What's everybody thinking? Let me look at see who's out there.
Either way, Diana, I'll definitely get on to you again later about
that sounds
working
interesting.
out. Try and help you with your thumbnails and stuff.
Bye, Nacha.
You take care,
Much
sweetie.
love, you all. Have
Be
fun.
good, have fun.
Hopefully, I'll catch you again soon.
Bye, Nacha.
Yay.
But yeah, there's all kind of different other places I'd like to visit. The main place I would like to see is the Parthenon, and I've always wanted to travel to the Mediterranean, and just the water looks so gorgeous. It's such a deep, beautiful blue, the cobalt kind of blue. I would just love that.
Yeah, get the sights in while you can, because the Mediterranean is a temporary ocean. But
yeah,
I have no desire to swim in it.
Yeah, I don't plan on swimming in it, but yeah.
You're not going to swim around and look for the H bomb that was dropped in the Mediterranean?
Yeah, no thanks. But no, there's a rich culture there that, of course I love philosophy, and what better place to visit than the central hub of all Western philosophy, Greece. But yeah, it'd be quite the cultural experience, and unfortunately I don't think it'll ever happen.
Yeah.
I've grown up I was born in the coastline here where I live down in near Wollongong, and we've got the beach right next to us, and all through my childhood, yes, we could go down to the beach, we'd swim and everything, but as I got older, I don't like the beach. I've found that I like further inland, the mountains, the rivers, the forest, that type of thing.
Yeah, I love that. Mountains are, there's nothing like being in the mountains. I miss it. We lived in we lived in the Ouachitas in Arkansas, and it was just so gorgeous. You could actually see the night sky and the Milky Way and stuff.
Oh my word! Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, the city lights.
That was something we had out. I think I've spoken about the cottage that my grandparents had out on Kelly's Island. It's a Lake Erie island on the western end of Lake Erie. But where that cottage stands now, there were no street lights or anything like that. Shit, the roads weren't even paved at the time.
Right.
If you got a night of a new moon, clear sky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. It had to be like a 6th or a 7th magnitude sky. Seeing stars down to 7th magnitude. And from horizon to horizon, nothing but stars.
Oh.
And you could just look all freaking night if somebody would let you.
Yeah, it's magical.
Yes, absolutely it is. And unfortunately, I don't have the chance anymore to get out to something like that. I wanted to take some friends out. We had built a telescope in high school, an 8-inch Newtonian. Wanted to get those kids out there for the weekend and do the sightings and stay at the cottage. And the slimy bastards would not have it at all. We don't trust you. And it's not like we're going to have an orgy or anything. We could do that anywhere. We don't have to be in the cottage to do that.
Right. Yeah, it was just like we didn't have electricity or anything out there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We did have electricity.
So we had a wood stove and we had kerosene lamps, and it was nice and cozy in the cabin. And the noises, the sounds of the night were just it was eerie, but it was also like.
No, I'd enjoy that.
I don't know, the howling of the wolves, and the hooting of the owls, and just it had an ambiance to it that I just really missed.
It's the howling of the wolf and the hooting of the owl. I don't know.
There's so many cool animals too, and you would
Yes.
just walk around the woods and just run into a pack of wolves if you were quiet enough. A lot of times you could just kind of like you would walk outside and you would get this feeling like with the hairs in the back of your neck standing up and things like that. And if you were lucky, you would catch a bobcat stalking you.
All right. Now we're talking. So what you would do is pull an R and Raw, right? Where you turn around going, "Roar!" And then the next morning somebody would say, there was a Bigfoot reported here last night. Oh, man, he's such a sweetie. I love that man.
Apart from our insects or a couple of snakes, the only thing I'd have to worry about is a drop bear.
Oh yeah, that's a definite thing to worry about.
Who did you get with that one? Was that Brooke, or who was it that didn't know what a drop bear was?
Yeah, somebody wasn't sure about. I'm not sure who now.
And thought that the drop bear was an actual thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was real. Yeah. I never really caught on to it, till recently. In a way, I've seen ads on TV with bears, and I thought that was the drop bear that they were talking about. It was a beer ad, and it was actually a bear the size of a polar bear. And I'm thinking, is that the drop bear they're talking about? I said, if that dropped out of a tree, it'd flatten you.
Yeah.
But it's only meant to be the size of a koala, but more vicious.
Oh,
well, I
okay.
understand that koalas can be pretty darn vicious if you provoke them.
Yeah, okay. I don't know that. I've never met a koala.
Well, I mean, I would be pretty pissed off if all I could eat was eucalyptus and I could barely digest it.
Yeah. Yeah, how about that perfect design, huh?
I know, right?
Oh, I don't know if
And they have to eat nearly non-stop while they're awake to get any nutrition out of it.
Can you imagine your jaw would be tired as hell?
Well, I don't know because I mean they're awake for only like what 20 minutes.
Yeah, they
sleep the rest of the
time. Yeah, if you ever see a koala in the wild, you most likely see it sleeping.
Oh, that's a cute vision.
No, I was only having a talk with someone the other day. I don't walk out my backyard and see any koalas or kangaroos or anything. I don't even think I haven't seen a koala or a kangaroo yet.
Who was it that posted the? Was it a GIF or was it a MP4 of the kangaroos hopping through an urban area?
Don't know.
That would have been Notcha done that one.
Okay, because I guess they were looking for water because of the.
Yeah, you do get in between. You do get in between towns, in between where I am. Not between where I am in Sydney. I'm south of Sydney, but north of Sydney up to the border, there is some isolated towns where it encroaches on more the wild area where kangaroos may come into the area. So you will see some kangaroos.
Okay,
it works. Where I am, you don't. I'm right on the escarpment of where the what do you call it? I don't know what I call this mountain here. I'm on an escarpment just behind me of a mountain range. We're that's our barrier between us and the further over. You'd have to Google our area. Google Wollongong where I am, and then you can get an idea of where I live.
Yeah,
this is the thing. Like, if you're gonna live in Australia, you need to live somewhere where you can like find kangaroos and koalas in your backyard. At least
they can become a pest and a nuisance.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Australia.
I would have to wonder if David Rice could actually do a decent job of living in the outback. Desert farm. I mean, he lives right on the edge of the Mojave anyway, so I wonder if that would be a place he'd like. You know, one of those deals. Oh well, such is the life. And
well, I mean, just hopefully he wouldn't fall off the planet because
yeah, there you go.
there's no such thing as gravity.
He's a sweetie. He really is.
Love Desert File.
I hate traveling.
That's the weird thing. There are times that I hate the traveling itself. I don't mind being at the destination, but it's just the matter of traveling to get there. Now this last trip, that wasn't the case happily. I loved driving out to Chicago, out to Carbondale, which was a good thing because I mean from here to Chicago was 500 miles, and from Chicago to Carbondale I think was about 350. So I got my driving in. Definitely.
Well, people terrify me.
Where you guys are, when you go between distances that are a few hundred miles, is it mainly freeways?
That's the way I drove, was freeways, interstate highways. Yes, where they were what do you want to call it? Is it restricted access or whatever? Where the exits are several miles apart. And when I say several miles, I'm speaking of maybe 15, 20 miles apart, where you can get on and off. And the speed limits are 70 miles an hour, which is, remember correctly, something over 100 kph.
110. Yeah,
Okay.
100. About 100. About 100.
Yeah, that's the kind of driving I was doing. It was definitely not city driving, which is
Well,
what
see, where we are, we do have major, like a couple of freeways. We've got our main, what you call, I like Route 66. That's what I've been looking into a lot on YouTube. I've been looking into a lot of that, and I'm on a couple of channels there looking into and on Facebook with one bloke. But where we are, we've got a Hume Highway that runs from Sydney all the way down to Melbourne or Albury, and that's our Route 66. It's been diverted into a major highway now, like a two lane each way type highway, and it has a lot of roads that offshoot that are the old Hume Highway that I look at, like Route 66 was, where you had the old roads that went in between, and that's what I prefer to travel those roads. I don't like hitting the main highways. I like to go along the old hot towns or the old roads where you can stop and you can stop at places and stop when you want, see the views. There might be a waterfall here or a lookout over there or something. You sit on the highway for hours on end, you're missing out on half the journey. Yes, you have a departure, you have a destination, then the journey it can be part of your trip as well. If you go on an airplane, you can't get out when you want to. You go on a train, you can't get out when you want to. You go on a bus, you can't get out when you want to. At least if you're in a car, you go, oh, I wouldn't mind stopping there for a minute. Yeah, you pull over when you want.
Now, my drive, at least that sort of thing wouldn't have made much difference because I tell you, along Lake Erie, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois has got to be some of the most boring stretch I've ever driven. Not quite the most boring. I would say that Cleveland to St. Louis has to be right at the top there because you're going through some absolute nothing. But there was really nothing to see. Um, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and besides, it was nothing that I hadn't already seen. I grew up in that area. I grew up in Cleveland, and would go to the western end of Ohio, and finally ended up going into Michigan, that sort of thing.
So you're saying a lot of the places in between a lot of the cities or towns are following the original routes that they've always been there, and you can't divert around. You can divert to different areas, but as you're saying, the scenery in some of the areas is just the same as it's always been. If you travel a different route,
and it's quite monotonous, really, when you come down to it. A lot of cornfields. Yes,
Okay.
they do grow corn in Ohio.
Okay.
I have to say, what's even more boring than the cornfields and all that is driving through Oklahoma. It's boring, and it's boring, and the roads are absolute shit. So you feel like you have a flat tire.
Oh my!
No.
I have not had that privilege, and I'm
Oh
not
my
sure I
God,
want
it's
it.
awful. It's awful. I hate driving through Oklahoma. I'd rather go through Arkansas.
But don't you get to pull off now and again to go to McDonald's or somewhere?
Well, I'd rather
Talking about
go to
Oklahoma.
Wendy's, but I mean, like.
Now, what I really, really, really liked was the driving along. I think it was I-10 from Texas through New Mexico and into Arizona.
Yeah.
That's some of the most beautiful country I've ever driven through. Well, I fell in love with Saguaro National Park, and I wish I could get back there out in the Sonora Desert. It's really humbling when you are standing right next to a saguaro about an inch and a half, 2 inches tall, that's as old as you are.
What's this? What's a saguaro?
Saguaro is the cactus that has the arms. It's the one everybody depicts when they depict desert scenes.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of looks like this sort of thing, with my bony-ish one and then the two.
And they grow pretty tall.
Yes, they do. And they make some excellent habitat for local wildlife, especially when they die and birds hollow out parts of the saguaro to build their nests inside. And yeah, it's amazing stuff. But I have not been out there. I have not been able to get out there in over 30 years, and I'd really like to before I die. And I guess I'm going to have to do that eventually because, hey, I've got more life behind me than ahead of me, and I know it. And it's one of those deals. I mean,
Have you seen the Grand Canyon?
Yes, I have, and I need to get back there. Not only have I seen it, I've flown through it.
Wow. And is it as big as what it looks it is, or is it bigger?
There is no comparison between canyon and picture. There really isn't.
Wow.
The scale is so much grander, if for lack of a better term. The colors, excuse me, little cough there. Colors are so much more vibrant, and the layers are so much better defined. I could live there. Seriously, it's such a beautiful place. Now I was at the South Rim. I think the North Rim is a little less of a view, so they say, than the South Rim is. But yeah, that's how I ended up seeing A Christmas Story. So my wife and I drove up to the Grand Canyon. We decided that we would take the flight in the four-seater through the Grand Canyon, and because of that, we left later than we would have and ended up snowed into Flagstaff. So we were snowed in there for a day, and it was like, okay, what are we going to do besides play Scrabble and the obvious? So we actually got to see A Christmas Story as a first run. Kind of a cute little memory there.
Yeah, the other place I've noticed on the Route 66 one is the Painted Desert.
Okay.
You heard of that one?
Yes, I have heard of it. I've not been there.
Okay.
I want to get out to that neighborhood. I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford it. That's the darn thing.
The other one I looked at was the route that goes. I can't remember the names of the towns off the top of my head, but it's a big diversion off Route 66, and it goes up into the mountains, and you drive down the street, and there's donkeys everywhere.
Okay.
It's up in to divert. I wish I could remember the names of the towns. It's more towards the west side of Route 66. I can't remember the names. I have to Google it.
Okay.
But that's where I'm seeing a lot of my scenery and things like that when I follow this Route 66 thing.
Okay, so Robert, you're saying that my volume is a bit low compared to everybody's. We can try to do something about that. Hang on.
How about anyone else's, Robert?
Okay,
In
I guess
comparison.
I'm not going to sneeze. I thought I was going to sneeze, and I didn't want to blow the mic. That would not be good. Because when I sneeze, my upstairs neighbor can hear. She's such a sweetie, she doesn't complain about it. But let's see, there's the gear. No, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted the control panel here. I'll turn my volume up just a tiny little bit here.
I've got mine all maxed out, all my volumes.
Let's see if that helps any.
Oh yeah, you're a lot louder now.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, I wish that Google Hangouts and OBS were a little more consistent on my system than they are, because I'm always running into audio problems, and I'd really like to figure out what to do about that, such that I get good audio every time I go.
Atheist Jake Boy wants to know if you've got time to jump on the stream.
Oh my word, we can bring you on.
As long as we're not going to talk, as long as we don't talk about Dianetics, Michael.
There you go. I'm trying to remember. Wait a minute, let me get this copied. Trying to remember what is your Twitter handle if you have one. I'm gonna look. Are you? I'm trying to remember. Are you called Atheist Joke Boy on Twitter, or are you called something else?
So apparently, Louis C.K. has lost his freaking mind.
I found you
again.
Yeah, it's worse.
What happened?
What's going on here? What
there was a leaked comedy set thing where he says, "Oh my god, I don't even want to read this. It's so bad."
Oh, please say.
Atheist Joke Boy, check your Twitter DM.
Please say.
He says, okay, I was kind of excited to be in my 50s and see people in their 20s and be like, you're crazy. These kids are nuts, but they're not. They're fucking, they're just boring. Fucking you shouldn't say that. What are you, an old lady? What the fuck are you? Yeah, that's not appropriate. Fuck you. You're a child. Why aren't you finger fucking each other and doing jello shots?
Jeez, like, I just came back, and that was a good one to hear.
What?
Who is this again?
Louis C.K. It goes on.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like, why aren't you? You should address me. And they're like royalty. They tell you what to call them. You should address me as they, them, because I identify as gender neutral. Oh, okay. You should address me as there because I identify as a location. And the location is your mom's C word. It's awful.
Oh man, he's really gone over the edge.
Yeah, this is a guy that said last year that he was going to step back and take a long time to think about what he's done.
I guess he did and decided he wanted to do more.
I guess the bills are starting to pile up and he's panicking.
I guess so. So now he's going to appeal to like the red pill religion people. You know?
I remember a friend of mine mentioning something that he allegedly had said, and I guess he's going to be living by it then.
Hi.
Hi, Atheist Joke Boy.
Hi, Michael.
Allegedly, Louis had said something to the effect of he has a great number of scruples or ethical things to live by or whatever it is, and he lives by none of them. Something like that. I'll have to look up what Fabio said at one point. I guess he's living that.
My assessment is that he's a complete douchebag and he's not funny.
I'm starting to get that impression, and I never really
Louis
followed
C.K.?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good fried chicken, though.
The only thing I live by is oxygen.
I really hadn't followed him very much. I haven't followed the popular entertainment much. Probably to my detriment. I don't know. It's just I never get around. I never get around to it.
You ain't missing nothing with this.
I'm not
No,
trying
really,
to
you're
snob
not.
or anything. It's just
No.
But
I live like a mushroom myself.
oh, knitting. That's something I'd wanted to learn. But,
Yeah,
that
Oh,
sounded
yeah.
really good.
Oh, like yeah, I'm doing a mitten at the moment.
nice.
Yeah, just just finishing the thumb.
But
I need
I'm
it.
gonna have to get going. It's
Okay.
almost 11.
Gonna hate to see you go, but you know what can I tell you?
Oh, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I know how that works.
I need to have a piece of toast or something, and
you're the one who needs to eat on a reasonably
regular schedule. Yeah.
schedule. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Vegemite on toast. That sounds great.
I would love to try it. I would like to try it.
But don't try it like they show you on TV where you have a spoonful of it. It's like anchovies. You've got to have just a little bit.
I like anchovies.
So do I.
Okay.
Okay, I've heard it compared to what I know as brewer's yeast. Is that the
Well, Vegemite and Marmite, right?
No, Marmite actually has a different flavour.
What does it taste like to you?
Vegemite is more saltier than Marmite.
Okay. What else is going on with the flavor?
I don't know. I can't think of it in a way. It's just a salty flavour. Not like soya, not like soy sauce. That's a bit different again.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't really explain it. It's just a salty-ish type taste.
Is it kind of like a umami flavor? Like
Yeah, Marmade's a little bit different, but just imagine Marmade just with a bit more of a saltier type flavour.
So if you were going to introduce it to someone, would you have a piece of toast, Marmite, and or Vegemite and cream cheese, or?
It's more like Satan's vomit.
No, I wouldn't put the cream cheese in. Yeah, the cream cheese would be something to have separate, yeah. But you'd only have just a very, very, very light bit on the toast. You wouldn't have a lot. You don't spread it thick like jam or something.
Okay.
I'm
Fair enough.
I understand it, but that could kill you, or at least make you want to die. I don't know.
No, I like it on toast, but I only just have it a very, very,
apparently
very
it's
well, it's got vitamins and minerals in it, so
vitamins.
Vitamins.
Well, I'm gonna have to jump off of here too. But thank you for having me, and
same. I gotta get going.
Of course.
To you, Snarky, and to you, Faye, it's been an honor to have you two around, and we've got to do more of this, and I'll have my service call your service, and
we'll talk to your people, and then we'll get the people together. How's that?
There you go.
It could be a good thing.
I'll get my people.
Maybe one of the first shows in the new year or something like that, because I think that after tonight, I think I'm going to take tomorrow off. For live streaming, and maybe I'll see if I can do something about standalone videos, but we'll see.
All right.
No, we'll always see each other on different streams.
Oh
yeah. We tend to get around here.
Anyway, we get around. Yeah.
Y'all have a good night. Bye.
Bye,
sweetie.
Nice seeing you again.
You too.
Alrighty. Okay.
Looks like I jumped on just at the right time.
And then there were three.
And then there were three.
Do the Agatha Christie thing here.
There's four there. I see a kitty cat.
Yeah, there's the little one. Hi, little one. You was such a good kitty.
Now there's just the three of us. Dianetics! No.
Oh, bullshit. No.
I was really putting me to sleep that one last time.
What is you, little one, huh? What? She's
You
such
know,
a good kitty.
my last stream I think was a bit more entertaining than the one previous.
Because I was there.
Huh?
Because I was there.
Yes, because you were there, Terry.
Thank you.
Yeah, but pardon me, I just have to close this thumb.
Did you clean your room? If you cleaned your room?
Still have the sheet up, don't I?
Oh my. Okay, wait a minute. Let's see what's going on over there. Over there. Over there.
Oh, we're going to start singing in the song now, aren't we?
Break into song.
Buttered piece of toast and spread about a teaspoon across the entire slice. All right.
Who was that one saying?
That's
yeah.
An agent of the devil.
Puffalopagus. I'll try anything once. Well, pretty much anything.
If he's talking about Vegemite, teaspoon might be too much.
I tried to do the brewer's yeast thing when I was younger. About put a teaspoon of it into tomato juice, and I tell you that stuff was evil.
Oh.
Trying to prevent pellagra or something?
Yeah, getting all those B vitamins and all that stuff and everything else, and go down to the local health food store and pick up a big bottle of this stuff and try to.
I don't know how many vitamins I'm getting. I'd like to know what the vitamins I'm getting off my beer I've got at the moment.
Let's see, beer. It might be a lot of the same stuff that you get from bread, I'm thinking.
Probably, yeah.
You're talking about a grain here, be it wheat or barley or.
And it is finished.
Yay. Now, what would really be interesting is if you brewed beer from, let's say, rye that was infested with ergot. That would be interesting.
And what's an ergot? What's an ergot?
It's a kind of mold that grows on grain. It can cause hallucinations, paranoia, things like that.
Give me some of that.
Ergot is one of the original or earliest sources of lysergic acid. And if that name sounds familiar, it should anyway.
No, I don't.
Because you can react lysergic acid with diethylamine and obtain something known as lysergic acid diethylamide, also known as LSD.
I know what LSD is. There you go.
Which is what Hoffman did. Trying to remember exactly when that was.
No, but if you were to brew something with rye that had ergot, first you'd get a rye whiskey, and second, the alcohol would probably kill off the ergot. Might give it a funny taste, though.
Oh, man, you're right. Puffalopagus, in America, the homeless population survives on the fact that malt liquor is food.
Yeah. I mean, you get some nutrients from it.
What really gets me is, well, I have my own weird ideas, but you give destitute people food to keep them going, but you keep them going through all the other crap that they're dealing with, like living on the street and, being saddled with, for example, debts they may have had before they became homeless. So what good's the food,
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good topic to bring up that I'd like to talk about. Is that to do with the economics or the way the structure is of the system in America, where you feed the homeless people more than what we do here? Because we go down the road, we might see one homeless person in a week that we class as a homeless person.
Boy, you're lucky out there.
Yeah. We don't see too many homeless people here in Maine, they freeze to death pretty quick.
Yes. No, he's not kidding. He's not kidding.
I'm not kidding. That's an actual problem.
Yeah.
Here in Pittsburgh, I mean, I would see the same homeless people on the same corners. You knew what to expect. I mean, you come to the corner of, let's say Penn and Braddock, and you knew you would see this person and this person holding the signs, help a homeless person.
Yeah.
And in downtown Pittsburgh, I've seen people going from dustbin to dustbin, pulling out whatever food or drink they could get out of the dustbins and subsisting on that. Here in America, Americans are not very nice.
Okay.
It's about the best way I can think of putting it.
Okay.
They blame the homeless people for being homeless, for example, and it's usually not the case that someone is homeless because he or she wants to be homeless.
No.
Living on the street in December or January when it's 10 below or whatever the hell is not the kind of thing you want to do as a pastime.
There are, however, people who do it as a pastime. They're just insane.
Oh yeah. That's another matter entirely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, population has Australia has the population of Texas in a country the size of the USA. Yeah, so it's kind of spread out. But of course, there's the thing. Australia, as far as I can tell, you've got some people on the west, you've got some people in the east, and then this whole big thing in the middle where about all you find are a few opals here and there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, some kangaroos, some koalas.
Yeah.
No, they get started on them. No, they're only on the forested areas, East Coast. I don't know if they're on the West Coast, actually. Someone might have to educate me a bit more on Australia.
Yeah, everybody I know in Australia is on the East Coast. I really don't know anybody in Perth or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, not just in Queensland. I'm in Wollongong, which is New South Wales. I'm not in Sydney.
Right.
I'm sort of in the suburban area. I'm not a city type person. So in between country and city, I suppose. Yeah.
As I've got older, I've come to appreciate city life. I used to want to live out in the middle of absolutely nothing. It's still, what's the word I'm looking for? It still sounds nice to do that sort of thing.
See, I live out in the middle of nowhere now.
But the problem with it is it's difficult to get to the places I need to get to and to the things I need to get and that sort of thing. I mean, just living in this little area here, it's called North Versailles, on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. There's really no way in or out except US 30. So there's no way to bicycle in and out because US 30 is 40-mile-an-hour speed limits, that sort of thing. And I tried biking it once. 4 people tried to run me off the road. One of them crossed 3 empty lanes to push me up against the berm. Really nice people out here.
You get a target on your back.
Yeah. It's just too bad I didn't have a Beretta, where I could have put a hole in the guy's tires. Wouldn't have put a hole through him, but just get his tires as far as that goes.
I see the humorous side of having a gun sometimes over there.
Yeah, it's when I was living in the city, it was so easy to get around. All I would have to do was roll my bike out to the street, hop on it, and go. Bike the 8 miles or whatever downtown to. The name is the Strip District. It's the food sector of downtown Pittsburgh, if you will. And
you can serve food and strip at the same time. I didn't know that was legal.
Pretty much. And I would go into strip district meats, buy a 5-pound beef heart, stick it in my backpack, bike it back home, and simmer the thing, and I'd have heart sandwiches for a couple weeks.
Oh, that
Yes,
sounds really good.
I have considered an e-bike. The problem I've got right now, I really don't have a place to keep it. I've got this. The footprint of the apartment is 16 by 32. No garages or anything like that. It would have to sit outside. So sit outside, exposed to the elements. If it stayed there, it would also be the possibility that it could sprout legs and sort of walk away.
Yeah,
Well,
do
that's
that.
the scooter thing. The
bike
e-bike
chain and
itself.
tarp.
Say again.
Bike chain and tarp.
Yeah,
That's not.
maybe I'll have to think about that. Something like that. It's
No, things still grow legs and walk.
yeah. I already have the one
And a
bicycle that
pair
I
of
don't
bolt
want to get
cutters.
rid of. So if I wanted an e-bike, there would have to be a place to put that second bike.
You can't bring it into your apartment.
Oh, that's what I do. I do bring it into the apartment now. The bike is in my library. It's in what the landlord calls the bedroom.
Okay.
But in the library, there are 800 books, a bicycle, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Sounds reasonable.
45 to 50. Ooh, that would be interesting. I'd almost consider changing out my Schwinn for an e-bike in that case, because I thought that
The one
maybe an
thing,
e-bike would do
the
about
one,
30.
the one thing you haven't mentioned is your public transport system.
Okay, Pittsburgh's public transport system is dicey. When I was living in the city, it was great. I could walk out the front door to the building, and I was within, let's say, I was within 500 feet of 4 buses. I could go anywhere. Here, there are 2 buses in and out of this place that run only once an hour. And the routes are limited as far as where they go. So you've got a lot of transferring to do and all this other happy stuff. I mean, I do it because I have to. And one of the things I can't do it right now because it's, the end of December. But one of the things I can do is bike up to the bus stop, and the buses all have bike carriers on the front. So I can strap my bike to the bus and then go part of the way, and then get off the bike or get off the bus, get on the bike, and just bike around the rest of the places I want to go. The problem with that is it doesn't save me the bus money that it used to. Man, I tell you, the bicycle paid for itself in bus fare that I did not have to pay in that first year. And it's a $300 bike. So I know it's not that expensive a bike and all that stuff. Some of the bikes I was looking at when I was originally starting to look at bikes, $600, $1,000. I didn't have that on me. But
Well, you don't want $100 bike, and then you can't afford $1,000 bike, so you have to pick something in between.
Yeah. Oh my. Your neighbor slapped wheels and a battery on a $15 mountain bike from Goodwill. Okay. Might have to look into this. I might definitely have to look into this.
Yeah, you can definitely find videos on YouTube converting normal bikes to e-bikes.
I'll have to look into this e-bike thing. I haven't actually heard about this before.
That would help me out. It really would.
I've never heard of an e-bike.
The other problem here in this neighborhood is the hills are a lot steeper. And they were a little better in the Homewood neighborhood that I lived in before I moved here. Unfortunately, I had to move here. I had no choice. The government subsidies got pulled from the units that I was living in because the landlord let them go to shit. And I can't afford market rate. Sorry, kids. It's all I can do to afford $230 a month for my rent. now, when the market rate is like 3 times that. That's what comes of being on a fixed income. When you run a disability check.
It is.
Because I get about $1,100 a month, and it's work to get by at times.
Yeah.
Especially if I make some purchases. I bought some chairs to go along with my dining table, so that's 100 and something for those. And yeah, I know I built a computer. That the slimy bastards would be all over me, telling me you didn't need that, you didn't need that, you didn't need that. I needed that because the first computer I had, I built without thinking that I wasn't thinking that I was going to do video when I built it. So I really I didn't need a kick-ass machine. But then when I started doing video early this year, in January and that sort of thing, I found out very quickly that the machine was underpowered. Boy, was it ever underpowered. And in August, I finally shelled out to build another machine. Cost me, well, the machine plus the electronics to let me switch my keyboard and monitor and stuff from between computers. That together was about $1,500. So it's going to be paying for that for a while. So I'm not going out to Illinois again for a while. I spent it on a machine. Because that was the other thing. Oh man, back in 17, I went out to Illinois to see the total solar eclipse. I mean,
okay. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
I had planned that for a couple of years, saved up for a couple of years, everything, and I don't regret having done it at all. It cost me more than I wanted. I had budgeted $1,800. It ended up costing me $2,400, and then I just get back home from the trip, and I get hit with this thing. You've got to move. So now it cost me another 1,000 or so to move, and the whole schedule and everything else. I couldn't do it on my time. I had to do it on their time, and they weren't letting me know at all when the apartment was ready and all this other shit. So I wasn't able to have my cooking stuff out and everything. I'm paying $7 a day for prepared meals. You go to the grocery store and you buy those boxes of banquet fried chicken and all that shit. That really, and then when I first moved in here, that first week or so before I could get the kitchen set up, McDonald's hamburgers were my dinner, and it amazes the shit out of me where you get 2 hamburgers, an order of French fries, and a Coke, and it's $12.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I know.
Yeah.
McDonald's have got a deal at the moment.
Yeah, how much do they pay their employees?
Yeah, not that much, let me tell you.
You can get a burger at the moment for $1.
Oh my. So let's see, Puff. That's why you got into e-bikes, is you needed to put together an adult tricycle for your dad. Okay. And the kit for the front wheel was 145 with everything but a battery. Okay, that doesn't sound all that bad actually. Yeah, because if I could have something that I could use as a regular bicycle most of the time and just get those hills and the highway with the motor, just use the motor when I really need it, I could live with that. Might have to actually look into that. And if I can't modify my Schwinn, maybe I can try to save up and I can keep 2 bikes or something. Be interesting finding the space for them, but I can work on it.
How often would you go out? Well, if it's cold or snowing or whatever.
Well, if it's snowing and stuff, no, I don't go out. I mean, the way I used to do it when I lived in the city, I would bike basically from March to November. I'd put the bike away, say around the very end of November. I'd pull it out, say mid-March or so.
Mm.
And then the other time it was too cold, too snowy, that sort of thing. I had to leave it behind. I had to leave it in the apartment. But
How do you get out?
Pardon
How
me?
would you get out if it's too snowy? How would you get out if you had to get something or do something?
Well, that's where I would either walk or take the bus.
Mm.
Yeah, I do a lot of walking. People look at me when I say, okay, I need to go somewhere. I think I'll walk up there. You're walking? And it's only a mile
What,
and a half. What's wrong
what is
with
this
you?
walking you speak of?
Yeah, you know. But when I was a kid, I walked a hell of a lot, and I haven't had a motor vehicle. I haven't owned a motor vehicle since 1989.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I simply can't afford one.
No.
And that's where I started getting around to it would be nothing for me when I lived in the neighborhood called Homestead, it would be nothing for me to walk from my apartment to the campus of the University of Pittsburgh, do whatever I would do over there, and then walk back just for the sake of walking. And that was about 4.5 or 5 miles each way.
Mm.
It's a good walk.
People would look at me. You walk? Yeah, I walk it.
Yeah.
It's fun, for fuck's sake. It wears the soles of my shoes like you wouldn't believe. Well,
I
Mr.
know
Shadow Kitty, you take care. Okay?
I might sound bragging, but I think I've told somebody else. I think I was talking to you, Michael, about how I am with my situation in Australia.
Yeah.
I'm on the dole. My wife gets part of the pension, or she's on a certain pension because she's epileptic. I get my dole because I'm unemployed. We probably get about 500 each a fortnight. We live on about a quarter acre block, I'd say, and I've got a 9 by 5.5 meter garage. I've got a 7 by 6 meter carport that I put up myself. We moved here going on about 8 years now. We've lived where we are now, and we moved from another Department of Housing house where I had all that set up in the first place with a garage and a carport. So they actually just replaced everything here. Well, I had a garage. Yep, here's your brand new garage. Cement driveway or carport? No, put the cement driveway in. I'll put my own carport up. I've got 2 or 3 cars, 2 registered. Yeah. So, and I'm only on the dole, and I'm waiting to look for work.
Okay. And Brent, yeah, uphill both ways, definitely. In the snow.
Uphill both ways in the snow, the blazing sun on my back.
You ski down, don't you ski downhill? You ski downhill.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
My ex blew out her ACL that way, downhill skiing.
Oh, see, I haven't skied in a real long
No, I'm
time.
sorry, MCL is what she blew out.
Yeah, I haven't skied in a long time. And
I have not skied at all. But the only skiing I've done is when you hit one of those patches of ice and you start sliding forward and fighting to regain your balance and all that happy stuff. That's about the only skiing I've done.
Oh no, it's skiing is our main source of tourism here in Maine. Skiing in the winter, blueberries in the summer, and without those two things, Maine would be a wasteland.
Okay.
Well, at least desolate. We don't have a lot of people up here. You know how they say Florida's God's waiting room?
Okay. Yes.
You know, yeah. Maine is the entrance hall.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm back.
There's another place I've never been is Florida.
Don't go. It's terrible.
I have thought of trying to save up the money to get down to the Cape to see a launch, but it's kind of expensive to get down there, and I will not fly.
And Florida sucks anyway, so.
Well, that too. Although some amazing people are out of Florida.
Yeah.
I can think of one right now.
Oh, people are great. Just the state sucks.
Yeah, our dear Christy is out of Florida.
Yeah. One in a couple in a million, however many people live in Florida. So.
There you go.
But show me a second one.
And Duke Bonanza is out of Florida as well. But excuse me. Someday I'll get down there. We just got the news that Strike has been approved to get down to a NASA social sometime next month, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember him saying about that, because I didn't know how difficult it was to get approved for Kennedy. And he got it. It's like, hey, shit, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I thought I imagined it would have been difficult. Yeah.
Now I've got a cousin who lives not that far from Wallops Island. She's in Sterling, Virginia, which is inland a bit from Washington, D.C. And if you do it right, you can actually see some of the launches from Wallops from her backyard. But then again, it's not that difficult to get up to Wallops Island and see some stuff there. And she keeps threatening to take me down there and see a launch, but it hasn't happened yet. We'll work on it.
Yeah, it's a bugger those launches go out over the East Coast way, because once they go in that direction, no matter how far east you are, you only just see the launch go just a certain way, and that's as far as you see.
Hey. The Earth isn't round, obviously. They're just going up and then coming back down a little ways later. It's a NASA conspiracy.
Yes.
Okay, that's what it is.
Absolutely.
Hey, I will come back, but I just gotta go walk my dog. Pretty quick, he's the doggo.
Don't you know the treadmill trick?
He's a bit big for a treadmill.
The old treadmill trick with Jane, stop this crazy thing, Jane.
That's exactly what I was thinking. The Jetsons.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that for years. That one.
Oh, it's been so long. I used to love that as a kid.
Yeah, I used to like it too. We obviously didn't get the original episodes here. I must have been thinking of the reruns.
Okay, because I remember the Jetsons when it was first running. Well, of course, I'm ancient. That's the thing.
Well, I'm not far behind. Don't forget.
Because when I was born, the only satellite orbiting the Earth was the moon.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay.
I was only in primary school. I was in primary school. I don't know, first class or maybe third class when I watched the moon landing. We had to go to because nobody had a TV, but a neighbour down around the corner from the school, they took our whole class, or nearly the whole school, got turns in going into the lounge room of the house with this black and white TV, just to watch this live broadcast of the moon landing. That was I think that was the first moon landing.
Okay,
I don't remember it that well, but I remember being like that's when it happened. Yeah.
So the one you're thinking of, would that have been in July?
Oh, don't ask me now when it would have been. I was in primary school.
Okay.
That's too long.
Okay.
I just remember going to this house and we were watching the moon landing.
Yeah, I thought I was a little bit older than you because you were in primary school. I was in middle school at the time.
Yeah, I would have been about how old I would have been? 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Around 6, 7. Around that age, 5 or 6. I know I wasn't that old.
I turned 12 the day of the first landing. Yeah, that was my birthday present.
Okay. Well, I'm not 60 yet, so.
Yeah,
keep forgetting.
I'm looking 60. I'm looking 62 in the face. It's not fun.
I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting how old I am now that I'm reaching 60.
Yeah, I should list my age as 39 and holding, just like Jack Benny, one of those deals.
Yeah, last time I looked, I was 50. Yeah, 50.
And if I didn't say it before, hello, Brooke dear, how are you? Yes.
Brookie.
Yay.
Hey, Brookie.
Hey, wait a minute, Brooke. What just happened? You appear to have lost your wrench.
I haven't even. No, she's got a wrench.
Okay,
Oh, she's lost it, and then
she made 2 comments with a wrench, and then this last comment she made has no wrench, and it seems to have gone away.
I'll put my name up, and then you can test me with a wrench too.
Here, we'll fix that. I don't know what happened there, unless she dropped it and I just gave it back to her, so she's gonna drop it again. God, we used to do shit like that. Back when I was on IRC years ago, one of the channels I frequented was Alt Support Depression, where everybody was a mod, and there were some of the people who didn't want to be mods. They would drop mod privilege, and somebody would give it back to them, and they'd say, "No, I don't want this." And then Terry, I don't know if I had given you a wrench or not.
No, I've got to get my collection going here. I've been getting around.
Okay, we fixed that. Okay, we have fixed that.
I've got one on Team Skeptics channel. I've got one on Soundly's channel. Side Strike, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm getting around.
It's gonna be just a little while that we're on, but I'll pull you in, Brooke. Cause here, okay, let's do this copy. Here it's getting close to 11:30 p.m. and I can stick around for a while yet, but eventually it's going to be time to.
Yeah, I've got to go and do some housework before the
covers and all that shit. You know how it goes.
I've got to do some housework before the missus gets home.
If you don't, you're in trouble, huh?
I'll be. She's out shopping at the moment, so she'll be back in about another couple of hours, but I've got to finish it off.
Here we are. Okay, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do this. All right, Brooke, check your DM. Yay. God, I'm weird.
So you say.
I try anyway. I've had a lot of practice. You'd think I'd get good at it, you know? But, my word. Yeah, I finally took the wreath off my door. I had almost forgotten to do that. I took my Christmas decorations down a couple of days ago because somebody was insisting on helping me do it anyway.
All I'm going to do is pick up my little 2-foot Christmas tree and put it in the plastic bag and throw it back on the wardrobe.
Okay, because I had my 5-footer up, and and a certain little person over there who you can barely see, ensconced in the bed there, was saying, "I'm gonna help you take it down." And you see ornaments everywhere, and the lights are getting pulled off and everything else, and it's like, okay. I did not have it up last year. Well, number one, I had just moved in and the place was a wreck. And number two, I'd had some friends over for Christmas dinner, and there would have been no way to fit them and the Christmas tree in the same room, because I actually had to move my dining table out of the way to put my tree up this year. So it was nice to get it up and everything else like that. Shut up already. And but I don't know.
We used to have the really big normal tree with all the tinsel and all the decorations on it when the kids were
Yeah.
growing up. And the presents would be around there on the Christmas morning and everything. But ever since the kids have all left home now, the tree's only just barely 2 foot tall, and it just comes out of a plastic bag every Christmas.
God, when I was a kid. Hey there, you.
Hello,
I was thinking about just sitting here and just quiet, not saying anything, and
Oh,
see
I
how
saw
long
you come in.
anyway to notice me.
I was listening to your breathing.
Oh
That
no,
sounds
no,
a
no, no, no,
little.
no, no,
That
no.
sounds a little disturbing.
Yeah, it's just a little bit.
I mean,
Notcha kept telling me about the heavy breathing because I must have had my mouth right up to the microphone like this, and I'd be end up.
Yeah, I'm pretty
yeah,
sure. Yeah, it
movie night.
sounded a little wet.
I I'm not touching that one.
Well,
Um,
that is a comment from the Apollo 11 EVA when the Moker was having trouble hearing Buzz, and Bruce told him, why don't you try getting the mic a little closer to you? And Buzz said something about I can't get it in closer to me. It was already in my mouth. And then Bruce said, well, it sounded a little wet.
okay, that's funny. Yeah, no, I've been torturing myself with some idiots on YouTube today. Oh,
Oh
oh,
boy.
oh, this person claims, and if they're a poe, they're a damn good one because I think they're actually legitimately serious. Are you ready for this level of I mean, this is like if Sai does the video I suggested for movie night, I think it will be an unprecedented level of stupid for movie night.
Oh no.
This guy is claiming volcanoes are fake.
Okay.
All
I am
right.
I am tornadoes are fake and don't exist. They're all CGI and it's all set.
What is it? A national conspiracy? Is that what it is?
No, I don't know. It's this guy is like just off the walls crazy. Oh, the reason why it's fake is, and I really hate using this word, but I'm gonna quote him on it. Hate using this one, but it's the tranny Satanists. Vaccines are part of a satanic trans agenda and all kinds of other. Yeah, they should. And
Jeez, man.
trans people are creatures, according to this guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Maybe
I said,
that's
I
another
found.
one to deal with. I
Oh,
know
you want the link?
I
Are
hit.
you sure you
Yeah.
want to go
Yeah.
for yourself?
You want to drop it in my DM if you don't mind?
Sure. Yeah, I'll have to go find one of you.
I had
It's
had Ken
definitely
Ham's
fun.
latest, and I lost it when my
Oh,
machine crashed. So I have to go back for it. He was
yeah.
railing against us on a recent.
LGBT people.
It was a
Or is this
recent
a new one?
AIG news, and
Yeah.
I want to slice him up because it's
Oh,
been a
yeah.
while since I've taken him on. And then
Yeah.
she who shall not be named has been spewing some insanity over the last few days, and it's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to deal with her too.
Um,
And,
I'm
and if
trying to
you're
think.
listening, SJ,
I was wondering if it was her. I was wondering. I was trying to find a way to figure that out. I think I
yeah.
know what might happen with the wrench is I have a secondary channel that I want to use for gaming, and I was on that one.
Oh,
So
so
I
you switched
think
channels? Okay, okay,
and
okay.
I think that's what happened.
So
So
now they both have wrenches. Great, no problem.
yeah,
Um, no,
which video of his do you want?
yeah,
Which one? There's a couple of them.
yeah. Pick one.
I'll give you the worst one with the anti-vaxxer bit.
Oh,
That's
Jesus Christ.
hey, you want hey, I'm gonna find out just how much of a it's 30 minutes long.
Oh no. So wait a minute. If we took after that one on movie night, that would
We
take
can be
us
done
only
within a
what, about
week.
8 hours?
I'll give it a week. I feel with that, and since if we did that one, it's an anti-vaxxer one, and well, let's put it this way: I've had an anti-vaxxer, and you've seen me fired up and heated before. I got so mad, I was calm. I was
Okay, that's when you start to worry.
yeah. I'm not one to usually get that bad.
Oh, okay, there we go. SJ, yep. Um,
Oh, is she
yeah,
in the
when she
chat?
unloaded that one, well, I don't know if you had heard whose stream was she on. It might have been McRae's stream or someone else's, where she was talking about blocking people, and she had mentioned there that she blocked me because I had said I didn't like her. Now, for all I know, I said it. I probably did. But
Yeah.
when you
I'm
look
surprised
at
she
the
hasn't blocked
timing,
me.
when you look at the timing of it, just prior to that, she had said something to the effect of, well, she was going on about transies, and I had said something
Oh,
about, in reference to me, and she immediately answered, well, I don't care what anybody does to their bodies. And it's like, that's not what this is about, bitch. Um, and I have a feeling that she blocked me because of that.
yeah.
I mean, just like Eve Kaninen
I
blocked me because I'm a trans woman, and
Yeah,
but
I'm surprised she hasn't blocked me. I mean, I especially after the, complete, and other basically ass ripping I gave her
hmm
because I
now,
didn't hold back. I mean, I intentionally went. That was supposed to be done and released back in August because we were supposed to have a debate, but that never worked out because she wanted to take me on design. She wanted to try and argue intelligent design against me.
oh Lord, she can't
I
argue, and she can't argue her way out of a paper bag. Come on.
No, and here's the thing. I'm actually working on setting up another debate. I don't know who it will be with, but it's through Modern Day Debates. I don't know who it will be with, but I want to do it on design. And here's the thing. If they want to claim intelligent design, then all I have to do is ask them one question. I'm going to ask them one question about some that most people would call a design feature or that would be part of a design. And when they can't answer it, as I know they can't, after two or three times of failing to answer the question of how that is good design, and they must answer it to my satisfaction, and I'm a designer, then I will look at the camera and I will go, please let the record show that this person, whoever it is, refused to answer my question. And then I'll go on to the next one.
Okay.
Because I can
Yeah.
design something better than what God did. All I have to do is reroute the LRN nerve. That's it.
Yeah, that one too.
That's one of the ones I'll use. But I won't use one that I like that people bring up. But to me, it's a really bad one because when people say what kind of engineer would put the recreational would put the playground next to a waste disposal
That's the one
system.
I was thinking of.
Don't. That's actually a bad one because that's a civil engineer.
Yeah, you said at
Who
one
would
point that a
do that?
civil would do that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I ran a cross country race at a high school. It was Royal Valley, was the name of the school. I don't know if they changed the course, but you ran around the sewage treatment plant. Literally, it literally there was one race. It had to be redone, had to be rescheduled because it literally turned into a shit course.
Oh,
The treatment
beautiful.
plant backed up and flooded the course. I am not. Yeah, so it literally was a shitty course. So yeah, that one is not a good one because a Civ would do that. And yes, I was going to be a Civ engineer, so I can make fun of the Civs. But yeah, check your DMs and Twitter. I sent
I
you the
just saw the
video.
link, so I'll pick that up
Yeah,
when we're through here. Uh,
it,
maybe
it's
what I'll do is say getting close to midnight or something. We'll wrap this up and then go from
okay.
there.
Yeah, just I will say this: make sure you have some booze handy because I watched it sober,
Oh,
so think
I'm
about
running out of
that.
that. That's the thing. I'm,
Uh,
I'm running out of booze, and I don't have the cash this week to get any. Um, so I'll have to take it easy on that link then.
it's
What?
it's okay. Just at least if you do watch, like, it took me over 2 hours to watch it because I had to watch it, stop it, just ignore it for a few minutes, then go back. So it took me a couple hours to get through a 30-minute league just because it was so painful. But I'll sit here if you want to play it. I will sit here and endure it with you.
Oy vey.
It's definitely like one of the things is he's like, well, how many deaths are caused by the MMR or the Robitussin or whatever that cough thing is, that like whooping cough type thing that kids can get. And it's like, well, why are there only like 8 or 17 deaths? That's not that many. Well, I can't imagine why. It's not like we had vaccines that eliminate them.
Right.
And then he goes, well, in a developed country, you don't have to worry about that too much. Yeah, because developed countries have what's that B word again? Vacancies? No, I don't think that's right. I don't think it's vacancies. Oh, vaccines. That's what it is. Yeah, that word. Although there is a vacancy in this guy's head. It is. I am not making this up. It is. I mean, it's definitely a doozy. That's a doozy.
I don't know. You talk about the booze, though, and something I have to say. I think I've said this to Cy, and if I haven't, I need to. You got me started with movie night, say around July or so.
Something like that.
Between then and now, I have imbibed more alcoholic libation than I had in the previous 10 years.
And you know what? That doesn't surprise me. Like, and I will say this, and I mean it, and I am saying this with a straight face, not as a joke, but actually turns out being legitimate. This guy makes Ken Hovind look like Albert Einstein. Oh yeah, he's one of those trans investigator people or whatever. All the celebrities are apparently trans or whatever.
Oh, for
he's one of those.
Sake.
Yeah.
I'm not dropping my pants for you, asshole. Okay? It's one of the reasons I won't fly.
Yeah. There's so, like I said, I mean, Lavender Lady, this is a real test for you. We're gonna find out just how much of a masochist you really are.
Oh man. Hey Reese.
And Reese probably is like, well, what's going on?
Yeah, you're late. I know you're late, but what the hell? Give it about a half hour or so, and then we'll see what we can do then. Hey, there's Mikkel.
And Mikkel is probably also in the same boat of what the hell are these two crazy women talking about?
Mike just let his dog take him for a walk.
Yeah, I heard that he was doing that. I was in the chat for that, but yeah, it's
okay.
The video I sent to Lavender Lady here that I am going to enjoy watching her be tortured with. It is going to be pure enjoyment. Yes, I'm not only a masochist, I'm a sadist.
I just saw something that Brad had said, and I know that I'm slightly dyslexic, but what I read was, why isn't there an intelligently designed brook?
That's not
Be nice. I am intelligently designed. I'm intelligent, I think. Wait, hold on. Are we putting that one up for debate? Because if so, I don't know if I will win that one.
Oh man, we'll have to go on McRae's show to debate that one.
Well, I think that is about with McRae. Here's the question though on that: if we argue that, is that like trying to argue that I might have some intelligence? Is like trying to argue that Steve exists? It's pointless.
There you go. Yeah. Do atheists exist? Or no? Well,
no. Does
he
Steve McRae? There was a whole thing with does Steve McRae exist?
I think I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I'm thinking of asking him to come on and talk about that whole atheist agnostic thing that he's got going. Um, I know he says that he's not trying to direct what other people call themselves. I am trying to figure out just what it is that he is doing. Um, he says it's in reference to himself, but yeah, we'll get around to it. Yeah, that would pull in that would pull in the views, right? All six of them. Because never mind that Steve is there. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, she's there. Screw that.
Yeah, no, I respect Steve, but I think he's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been some things I haven't agreed with him on. Obviously, I don't think anyone will ever agree 100% on everything. I mean,
Of
here's
course
a
not.
good example right here. I mean, Reese is severely misguided in his hockey team choice. He's a Red Wings fan. We all know Red Wings are the worst and only good on a barbecue. We all know that Ducks rock. And he's
The
not in
Mighty
the he's
Ducks?
not in the hangout, so I can bash I can say that all I want, and he can't really say much to me.
I don't know about hockey, but if I did, and even if I agreed with you, I'd have to disagree with you, just for the purpose of discourse.
Well,
As,
I
as
will
long
say I will say that I did like that thing Al did with the Detroit Red Wings jersey. Um, Now I don't even know if Al was a hockey fan at all, but at least
yeah,
the character was. That was a nice touch.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'll be honest. The reason I'm a Ducks fan is one, that was the first hockey game I watched, and two, what got me into hockey was I've never seen the Mighty Ducks movies. I'll be fully honest with that. I've never once seen one of those movies. Most people say that's the reason. They're half right. It is something that Disney did, but it was the animated cartoon. Because I mean, come on, what's better than hockey playing alien interdimensional ducks?
okay.
You guys do not remember that? Oh, you
Probably
might not.
before my time.
It was a
Gee, happily I'd forgotten all about that.
it wasn't a big one, but it was freaking awesome. And
Yeah, that was probably before my time.
how old are you?
18.
Oh,
No, it's only a baby.
Yeah,
oh God, man, I feel
I'm
okay.
basically a fetus.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. But I've said this before, and people don't think I am as old as I actually am. People
You're
always
Right, I thought you were about 13.
well, even if we're going mental age, I would still have to disagree because we all know I'm about 6 mentally.
Okay, fine. We can do that. Yeah.
you
Um,
can walk, so you must be
but
old.
here, but Cal, I'll let you guess my age from my profile picture because this was taken back in August. So
25?
thank you.
35.
That
You're really nice. I appreciate that. You're acting on the
not
upper side of what people normally guess, but I'm not.
35.
I
not
mean,
that
that's
No,
far
oh,
off.
Terry. Oh God, no, Terry. I'm not talking to you anymore. You're way off.
But then
that's
I'm
again,
28.
I mean, at my age, 3 years is nothing.
I'm 28, Mikkel. Yeah,
oh, all right.
yeah. Most
How
people
old
guess
I look?
22 or 23 is about the average guess, and I've had people who I've told them where I'm from, and they're like, "Oh, did you know this?" I go, "Whoever you're gonna say, I can guarantee I do not know them." And they go, "Well, they only great." I go, "I guarantee I didn't know them." They go, "How old are you?" And I usually have them guess, and they usually guess about 22 or 23. I go, "Thanks." I said, "But I'm guessing you're probably about 18." They went, most of them generally are. So I go, "Yeah, by the time you were in third grade, I was graduating high school.
Don't
When I
say anything,
graduated
Diana, in
high
my book.
school, you
That,
were
that
probably getting out of diapers or pull ups."
that was the fun part when I went back to uni the second time around. There were a couple occasions where you had the group of the kids, and you're talking about experiences and
Yeah.
like experience differences from high school to college and all that shit. And I remember the one well, Dr. C, my biology prof, freshman bio prof, was running this, and he asked about that, and I'm thinking, well, I really don't know if my experiences run the same way as the rest of your experiences because I graduated high school in 1974. This was 1992, but
Yeah.
already. And I hear from one of the. I was born in 1974. And it's like, thank you for making me feel ancient.
Hey,
Yeah.
I will say this. I do have a nickname here, and I'm not the happiest of it. I am the grandma of fourth.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the old fart because everybody. I am like Oh, great! There goes the stream. Great.
Uh,
Hey, Nacho, you back?
It's gone.
hey, upside down Sweeney's back.
Hello.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Thought we got rid of
Good
you.
to be going.
You missed
I was
the
going
mix,
for this.
Nacho.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
my
will. I will say this though. Because of Nacho's most recent video, Lavender Lady, we now do not have ownership of Ken Ham. The Aussies have taken him back. They reclaimed him.
Oh man,
They
I
can
could
have
only,
him.
Really rolling
I could
with that,
only
aren't you?
wish.
Hey, how many times have you said that after so many years you don't accept damaged goods? You're taking
The
him back.
thing is,
I am not letting you live that down.
appreciate, Rookie, you know that those aren't my words. They're an American's words.
I don't
XCs.
care. I don't
So,
care.
If the person who wrote that is taking Ken Ham back, that means America is taking Ken Ham back.
But wait. Who said it? Who said it? I
XC.
can't.
It was their words.
No. In the video, whose voice was it? It was a certain deep Aussie accented voice.
Yeah, but you know that I'm presenting for XC. It's even described at the start.
I don't care. I don't care.
I'm ignoring the facts and going with my own.
Yeah.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Okay.
Yes, that's the one.
But yeah, no, you missed the whole description of the video I sent to Lavender Lady. It's a great one.
Oh, and he missed my mitten. He specifically wanted to see it.
I know. That's good.
Yeah, it's done now.
I'll have to hook you up. Yeah, that actually is really cool. Nice.
Yeah.
You making one for the other hand, or?
Yeah, that one.
No, he needs the other hand free.
Okay. I was wondering.
No,
Yeah.
I just
I'm
cast
glad-
on the stitches actually.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm glad that we always see the top half of the camera.
Michael, you're left-handed, aren't you?
I never specified. I never specified I was mature in my humor.
I gotta lay off those upper body machines for a while because starting to get the muscle cramps here.
Yeah.
See, I walk a lot, so I have pretty well developed calves, but my upper arms are
Yeah.
noodles.
Yeah,
You need to drink more beer.
See, I'm trying to lose weight, although I eat a lot of pizza and stuff.
Yeah, that's the way to lose weight.
See, my issue is I don't go to deli for lunch or dinner. I don't go to salads. Hell, I don't even go to walk when they have something maybe even remotely healthier. I don't even go to Cultivate You, which is the healthy option. I go straight to either grill or pizza pasta in Kramer. I ignore that. That is my strict go-to.
Yeah, I've got to do something because I need to lose some weight. Well, I don't need to lose some weight. I need to lose 60 pounds.
I'm trying to lose about 40.
See,
I could do with gaining about that. How about we do
See, I'm about 180, and I've stayed 180 for the past couple years.
Yeah.
So
I
remember
used
180.
to-
God, I liked it.
Oh, I used to.
That's pretty
Oh
good.
God, that's my goal weight is 180. 175 to 185 is about where I want to be.
I'm hoping that once I move overseas, the less sugar in the food will help me. I'll just kind of naturally drop it off.
Yeah.
Just save me Googling what's a pound into kilos.
What, Terry?
I just save me Googling what's pound to kilo.
It is
2.2 more or less pounds to a kilo.
Per kilo. About 2.2.
So if I was 9-10 stone, that's the imperial, is it?
Yeah. Stone is about 14 pounds.
1 kilogram equals 2.20462 pounds.
I'm not going to try to calculate that.
2.2 is an easy go with. It's close enough.
Yeah, Purple, I see your comment up there. The one I didn't have would have been close to 34 by now.
Yeah, I will say I wish I was what I was when I was 18. I wish I was the weight I was. I was about $130, $135.
No, I was too thin when I was 18.
Oh Christ!
I was a rail. I was skinny, and I was a tiny little thing because I was a cross country runner, and literally I had like my body fat percentage I think was like 2.1. I had no body fat on me.
Well, lucky you.
I was a distance runner, and I'm trying to get back into distance running.
I'm a distance walker. I just cannot run. I am like almost flat feet. Like running is just out.
Yeah, I am trying to get back into running because I want to run a marathon. That would be my ultimate goal. In fact, I want to run the Marine Corps marathon on the Marine's birthday.
Oof.
Out in Annapolis.
That would be run 10 meters, let alone a marathon.
It's not that hard. You just put here's how you do it. You put one foot in front of the other, and if anybody knows where
I've got to hug that for 26 miles.
No, if anybody knows where that song is from, I applaud you.
It's a good little movie there.
Yep, and it's a little out of season, I know, but I don't care.
Well, the song I like, not from that movie, but from one made by the same guy, is I'm Mr. Heat Miser. Everything I touch.
Yep. I'm Mr. Heat. I'm Mr.
Yeah, that was just a season for that one.
Yeah. The 1 foot in front of the other is from Santa Claus is Coming to Town, narrated by Fred Astaire. And yes, I know who Fred Astaire is. I watched all the old classics. I love the 1940s and 60s. And like 1940s to 60s movies like Cary Grant.
Yeah. So you obviously didn't expect me to get that reference, did you? Even though you were talking to me, like when you said that reference, it's like, how was I meant to get that?
No, I said if anyone gets it.
Yeah, I know. But
wait, how is it that I, the youngest one here, the basically fetus, got that?
Because you have
those sorts of movies.
Okay, and not just the fence. He never really had any Christmassy stuff. Okay, that's good because he's the next
Fred Astaire though.
Yeah. Okay. Actually,
I'm back.
Yeah.
All right, we got to stop talking shit about Terry.
Damn it!
No.
We're not supposed to talk about Terry. Oh, great.
Hi, Christy.
I mean, I'll say this. I mean,
how?
I'm just trying to. You okay, Lavender Lady?
Some muscle cramps in the
bananas
in the upper arm.
You gotta get a banana.
I have a question for Nacha here.
Uh-oh.
No, it's a good one. I mean, we have an Aussie and a Kiwi here in the group.
No, we don't. No, we don't, Brooke.
You're the Aussie, Terry. I know that. Not just my favorite.
She tries so hard.
Yes, I agree vibrantly, Brantley. We need to get some cash together here
I wish I could
replace Christy Santiago's ailing computer.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I wish I could donate more. I really do. I was able to
I wish I could donate anything.
Yeah,
Give
I
me
was.
a
I
couple
was
days
only
to see how
able
my
to
finances are
donate.
A little
working.
bit.
If I had
You better put
disposable
yourself
income,
out.
I would donate it.
Yeah, I was only able to donate 5 this month, and that's all I'm probably gonna be able to donate for a while. I'll try and donate more later if I can. I just wish I could donate more. But yes, Bing Crosby, Fred Astaire, Dick Van Dyke, Donna Reed, all of those really good movies.
I
I
can do
do.
Dick Van Dyke Falls. Like, when I walk around, I can do that kind of stuff. And
Okay.
Well, you
it's
talk about Fred Astaire, one of my favorite movies of his, or a movie that he was in anyway, was On the Beach.
Yeah.
Uh,
One of my another one is Gene Kelly. He's another one I love. I
oh,
wanted to learn tap because of Gene Kelly.
and
I
he
grew
is
up. I grew up with all those type of movies.
Yeah. Well Terry, that's because you're old.
and Kelly is an alumnus of my alma mater,
Oh, that's
Second Son
cool.
Brown. He attended the University of Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, Christy is really good. Go support her. I mean, I wish I could help out more than the little bit I was able to.
I'd help build a computer for her if I had all the pieces.
I'm trying to save up for things like that as well for me because right now I got to get school paid for and buy books. So
There you go.
that I got to do first, and I'm probably going to do that probably next week.
Yeah, because I think we need, if I have the number right, I think we need about 10 times what Christie's got right now in order to get her a decent machine going.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get it for um so that way I can have one for editing and everything else, and it's just because the one I have literally, if you just bump the plug, it will die.
Christy, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Why are you doing that? What makes you think that Brooke would not like that?
Yeah, I'm about yeah. I just read that. I'm like, um, so if I don't stop that, how you really might want to rephrase that. You don't realize some of the. I'm not gonna get into that.
I just read
Yeah, just
that.
like Don used to go on, and we
Christy.
all have our kinks. I mean,
That's
he even
remaining
decided that
private.
I have a kink for whatever the hell he did. I don't know.
There's yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll go into it in the act offline if.
Well, I think we all have a pretty good idea of it now.
Oh, there's a lot more that you might not even know. We are getting it.
Okay, you want to make your channel, but you don't know where to start. First of all, you start in your chair.
Yeah, that's where I
Yeah.
started.
And
Yeah,
then
look
you
where
pick up
I'm
a
at.
pencil and a paper and you start with ideas here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
what
look
are
where
you
I
good
am,
at,
Reece.
Reece?
I've
What
got
do you
this
have here?
far.
Reverse physiology? Yep.
Yeah,
Reverse physiology. I like that.
Reese. Here's a good bit of advice. Find out what you're good at besides being annoying and by being a Red Wings fan. We can get over that.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, but
I'll
like,
tell you what,
What you're
Purple, I
good at and
didn't
what you
notice
love.
that I hadn't done this yet. You are now able to post it yourself. You do have a wrench now.
Yeah, you're a bit naked there, Purple.
Yeah.
I don't know how it was that I missed you.
do I have a
So
wrench? I don't think so.
No, don't give
I
Michael a wrench.
don't give.
Oh,
No, he's too
I
young
don't
for
know
it.
if you're doing
He's
her.
too young to have a tool.
Yeah, we don't know if we trust him.
you want to talk about tools, Terry?
Oh
Oh,
man, I'll tell you one of the stories I heard
Nice.
a long time ago, and
this
I
is
forget
getting
the
a little
manager's
hot.
name. I would have shot the SOB.
What?
That you had a rookie posting a no hitter until the manager removed him. The reason was the manager said he's too young to have a no hitter. It's
What?
like you're
That
dead, man.
okay? That is stupid. I mean, I have a cousin who, um, I mean, we don't really talk much, but I mean, they, as far as I know, haven't really cut me out of their life that I've seen. So I'm not gonna say former cousin, but with with them, they were freshmen and started, and they went to the like high school national championship stuff, and he was a pitcher, starting pitcher for that, and he
Just a
pitched
stock
I think
photo.
2 no-hitters in his freshman year.
Oh man.
I mean, his dad, my uncle, is a freaking phenomenal. Well, or I guess former uncle, because he wouldn't really talk to me anymore. Nor his aunt. Only really his sister, actually, is the only one that I'm still friends with on Facebook. So, yeah, it's just really more or less just if you can play, you play. I don't care who you are, how old you are. You're the best. I want you.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I wanted to pitch in the worst way, and unfortunately, I did.
Yeah.
And
What's
had
that?
I not been so stubborn, and maybe tried to be a catcher, I might have got somewhere. And look,
Yeah.
Faye's back. Hi, Faye.
Oh, we've got
Yeah.
someone back.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Here we are. We were thinking of closing down the stream, but
Yeah, we're getting everybody back here.
I came on and lively. It just picked right back up.
after the
Yeah,
dog
isn't
gave
that the way it
you a
works?
walk. Did
and
you get to relieve yourself, Michael, after you went for the walk?
Hmm?
Did you get to relieve yourself after the dog took you for a walk?
He's a big dog, but
I would like
Well,
to
I'll
say
tell you
something to
what,
Reese.
you talk about that. I'm going to have to do a little bit of that if we're going to keep going for a little bit here. So tell you what,
don't
talk
worry.
amongst
I'll pull out my
yourselves, and
copy
I'll
of
hit the little
Dianetic.
girls' room. How's that sound?
Okay.
Yeah, don't take the headset with you.
Right.
Yeah, and
There
Reese,
you go.
I want to say this real quick. Find out what you're really good at, and
Yeah.
that is really the best advice. Like I started with doing, literally, if you go back to the very first video on my channel, it's a PMV I did, and it wasn't even all that good. And I just kind of worked on that. Then I went into gaming, and it wasn't until I got into like doing religion, something that I know and I was fairly good at, not fairly knowledgeable on. That's when I kind of found my niche and what I'm doing now. Because my channel originally started off as a Brony channel. For anybody who knows what my old name was.
No, I don't know. I
Hey.
can't remember that. That's too long ago.
That's hey, Raquel. That's not nice. I can't help it. It's a good show. It really is.
Well, I'd like to give Reese a bit of advice. Well, I just started off by getting a mic and coming on live streams.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, I mean, you can do live streams, chats, interviews. There's all types of.
Or you could find a book people aren't reading, and then read it.
Yeah,
review it.
I thought that was pretty entertaining. I screamed into the mic a few times.
It might be boring, but I'll come back on again, Michael.
Oh, thank you, Terry. You warm my heart.
I don't think I've actually. You know what? I don't think we've actually. Have we ever been on a live stream? I don't think we have, Michael.
No. I mean, I've only done a handful of them. But if you want to come on sometime,
yeah, I mean, I'm always up for it.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that calls you Mikhail?
Yeah, I think so.
Shit.
Oh,
I think the first stream I saw you in, somebody had asked how to actually pronounce your name. And so I remember you saying something like everyone just calls you Michael.
Yeah,
and I picked up.
Michael, Mikhail, just literally anything but Mickey or Mick.
Oh, yeah.
Like I will have to rip someone's tongue out for that.
Just don't call you late for dinner.
Yeah, it's but it's what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something, forgot.
And it went silent, and it went silent.
Dianetic.
Nothing.
I gotta. Okay, it's 11 o'clock here. I probably shouldn't be on
you guys can quit
still.
talking about me now.
I probably shouldn't still be on.
But at least we were just saying the best things.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, what do we got here? Wait a minute. Excellent at
Why is Kristen
astrotheology.
in here anyway?
Yeah,
Do I-
that was me. That was I told Reese, to find out what are they good at, and then focus on that for their channel.
I think I barely remember Reese talking about astrotheology some
Yeah.
months ago, and I couldn't make head or tail out of it even then.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Astrotheology? Like, is that like, what is
I
that?
don't know.
But like, is it talking about Zoroastrianism, or is it talking about like, I don't know.
I don't know.
NFI
from
here.
what I
I've
recall-
no fucking idea.
From what I
Yeah.
recall,
And
I think it was something about the background of a lot of religions having a correlation or some sort of link to like astrology and ancient astrological understandings. And for Reese, it's an interesting topic to discuss.
That-
It's
that
not
kind-
necessarily any basis of belief, but a very intriguing
Yeah, that makes
discussion.
sense.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but I personally, I'm of the opinion that all religion had like a common ancestor at some point.
So that's what I'm looking into with my channel. I'm looking at something like that.
yeah,
That's a good topic to talk about.
yeah, and I'm still doing research on that video idea that you gave me, Terry. There's a lot I'm trying to find on it.
Man,
I left a message in side chat, group chat.
oh, wait a minute. I'm looking here. You're saying on the side, or did you leave the message on the internal
Yeah,
chat?
it says, "Can I sound better?" I don't know what you mean. Like, what's wrong with my sound?
You're a bit soft.
You sound muffled now.
It's muffled.
For some
Yeah.
reason.
Oh,
Yes.
Take
There,
the sock
better?
out of your mouth.
Is that better?
Not really.
I'm not on my normal headset or my other computer that I
That
normally
might be what
use.
might just be.
I'm using
Yeah, it might be
I'm
that
using
range.
Something
one of those
to do with
like
it.
earbuds that have the built-in mic with it.
That might be the
Yeah.
mic. Yeah.
It's not my normal setup that I usually use for live streams because I'm basically laying down right now because I got work at 7. So, yeah.
So
Throw me off a little bit, but
you guys can hear me with my $15 mic.
Yeah.
now I have to wonder if the less you pay for a piece of equipment, the better it is.
Well, the laptop also that I'm using is a basically bare bones, bare minimum laptop that is really slow and crappy. Because, like I said, my other one, if it just you bump the plug even slightly, it will just die on you automatically. Like just
Well, stick the mic in your mouth, and we don't care if it's wet.
There you are,
I
kids.
mean, depending on what you're sticking in the mouth, you'd want it wet. Yeah.
I can think screw it, I'm gonna say it, I don't care. There's a few things I can think of that I went in my mouth, and I'll let you guys, just go from there. I'll let
Oh
you.
man, would that be a Klondike bar?
Well, the question is, what would I do for a Klondike bar? I'm sorry. I am very, yes, as you can tell, I'm very mature in my humor.
Oh man, I remember going to an Isleys to get the Klondike bar. Way back when.
You're dating yourself.
Yes, I am.
But yeah, no, there are so many jokes that you can make. Just are not dirty, but I promise I'm very mature, right? Right, Love Dirty. You'll agree with me on that. So about you that I'm mature.
No comment.
I mean, you guys
Matured
act
like
like
a vinegar.
well, you guys act like for my 69th video on like the 69th video talk that I did. Basically, you act like I did it on the biology of sexuality. I mean, you guys act like I'm that immature.
Well,
I may or may not have done that video. I can't. I can neither confirm or deny. It's not like I made jokes about things smelling fishy and being wet, and I was only talking about clownfish. I mean, you guys saw something different. You need to get your head out of the gutter.
We were talking about beavers the other day, weren't we, Michael?
I believe so.
Watch those claws, little one. They're sharp.
And she don't care.
I'm not the only one who gets, or I'm sorry, Kate's not the only one who gets raked by cat claws.
See, there's a very easy solution to that, Diana. You know what it is? Don't own cats. Hey, I never specified you would like the solution. Hey, I didn't say you would like it or you should do it. I was just saying it's
Can we
an
bring
easy
back
solution.
hashtag boot Brookie?
Getting close there, kid.
Why am I so abused? Why do I put up with all the abuse?
Oh, I can type that
You
into
know what?
the
I'm
side
actually
chat.
going to be. I will be. Wait for a minute because I actually got to take my my HRT. So
What am I going to
I will
type?
be back.
Rookie hashtag. Okay, I'll type
So,
that in.
so everyone, just play nice and be nice and talk nice about me while I'm gone.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk nice about you. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Brookie's
say
such a
something.
bitch.
So, Naja, how you been sleeping?
No, not well. I keep going to bed too late and waking up too late, and when I wake up late, I'm freaking tired all day. It sucks.
Did you say your family's come back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm back
here
on
waiting.
mute all the time.
I'm sitting here waiting for the missus to come home, and I haven't done the housework she wanted me to do.
Oh man, you're not getting any tonight.
I don't think that'd have been a while ago now.
2 claws on each thumb. Oh my. Unable to retract the front claw. Oh my, that's an interesting little kitty there. I don't know. It would be. Sometimes I think it would be kind of nice to have kitty number 2 around here, and sometimes I wonder what kind of havoc that would involve. As in, cry havoc and let's slip the dogs of war. Anyway.
Wait, what?
The hounds.
I'm lost. What's going on? All I heard was Dogs of War.
Yeah, I'm lost too.
Let's slip the hounds of war. Come on, it's famous.
You
don't know where it's from, but it's
don't
famous.
you? Cry havoc and let's slip the dogs of war.
Okay. That's I want to say Richard III.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
I think, isn't it? Yeah. I knew it was. I was going to say it was Richard III and Macbeth, but I was pretty sure it wasn't Macbeth.
It's not Macbeth. No.
Yeah.
I knew it was someone.
Yeah. Lavender Lady knows I'm a huge Shakespeare. All I heard was Dogs of War, and I'm like, what? I didn't hear the first part, so I was a little lost.
This one up.
I'm pretty sure it's Richard III. I want to say second act. It's been a while since I've read that.
No, I don't know what I just said.
I think you said that Brooke is really awesome. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh, what is it?
According to the Font of All Knowledge, it's spoken by Mark Antony in Act 3, Scene 1, line 273 of Julius Caesar.
Okay, all right. I was. It's about one of those. I knew it was a Shakespeare. I thought it was Richard III. Honestly, I don't know why I thought that.
And
Okay,
then
never mind.
it's what the heck was his name? Khan? No, Chang. In the captain's chair aboard the Klingon destroyer.
Oh well, now you're going into Star Trek, and well, no one likes Star Trek. Only Star Wars matters, and Q Flame War.
There you go. There you go.
I think I'm accused of starting flame wars apparently, so I apparently start them all the time. Even though legitimately I hold one position that you say it almost guaranteed to start a flame war.
Well, it amazes me that she's actually got into the more recent Star Trek. I guess it's because it's not in the same mold as the old stuff was. That might be part of it.
Yeah, well, no, mine is a Star Wars opinion. I don't know. Nacho, were you there on that one? Or was it you, Terry, who was there on that? I think maybe both, one of you were on there with Wonder Lady's stream that started a flame war.
I was on mute and I
wouldn't
wasn't
have
here
a
for a
clue.
minute.
Okay, yeah, it was. I have an opinion that's very unpopular. I actually legitimately like Jar Jar.
No, that was the other day.
Oh,
Yeah,
that one.
yeah. When you were trying to start
Yeah.
the thing, and Wonder Lady was shutting you down, and yeah. You know what? You think that's an unpopular opinion, Brookie? I couldn't give two fucks about Star Wars or Star Trek or Lord of the Rings or the fucking Hobbit or the Harry Potter or any of that shit. And so whenever I hear all of that, I just turn off. I'm sorry, I just do. My whole brain shuts down because I just don't care.
Okay, yeah, it's
Book of Mormon.
But it's not. It wasn't a Mormon. There's the problem.
hello. My
I don't
name
know.
is Elder Price, and I would like to talk with you about this Raiders book.
Oh shit, that is so addictive.
It's funny. I actually am jealous of a friend of mine. Over break, she got to go to see that. I'm jealous.
I
So
just
Nachi,
missed out being in it. I was spewing.
so
But
Nachi,
I'm gonna run through here.
so Nachi,
Sorry.
you don't like sitting down in front of your big TV with the sound system turned up and watching a good action adventure type movie.
I never said that. I don't have a big TV, but
I don't know where I would put a big TV.
my big TV is my 20-something inch monitor, or 24 or whatever it is inch monitor. That's about what I've got for a television.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I'm
running a
poor.
21-inch monitor.
Don't judge
here,
me.
And it's just about all I can do.
I often sit here and just in front of my computer screen just watching movies when I want with the headphones on.
Now, if I didn't have all these switches over here on my desk, I might be able to run a 40-inch monitor. But no, I've got all this electronic equipment to switch my.
I wish I had the room to do that setup. That would be a nice two 32 inches dual screen setup. That would be nice.
There are times I could use that.
Yeah, I mean dual screens are so like that's one thing I miss about when I was in the drafting program and why I wish I could go to the engineering computer lab at times because dual screens are just so nice. You can put all your stuff that you need on one screen and then work on another. Like all your notes and everything you need for that, and then just work on another. It's so nice. I loved it. I miss it.
So what, you're doing multiple desktops and you open one desktop on one screen and another one on the other screen?
No. What it is basically like when you have your screen split, when you have one half on one half on the other. It's basically like that, except they're on two different screens, and it's nice because you can just focus on there and then look over at like I did that all the time in my drawings. I would have my notes and other details that I needed on one screen, and then on the other, because I would just drag everything over and all the icon commands. I would just drag those over to one screen and then have my drawing completely on another, and just work from there.
Moo. Okay.
It was nice.
I gotta go, guys.
Well, you be good.
Yep. That's no fun.
Well, okay. Diana, he's now hung out with me. That's now impossible.
Okay, I get you. I get you from there.
All right. Night. I'll still be in chat
sweetie.
though.
You be
Good to
good.
chat to you, buddy.
You have fun.
Don't give your brain filter red.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how everyone else is doing for gasoline or running on fumes or whatever the hell you guys are doing.
Oh, it's still daytime here.
Yeah, I know the Aussies will be doing it right.
Over here, it's 18 after midnight. So eventually, I'm going to end up shutting down, but I won't do it right away.
No, don't fall asleep.
No, I've done
Yeah,
that.
don't fall asleep on us though. Yeah, we just want to prevent that from happening.
No,
I think I've done it on movie night once or
Many,
twice.
many occasions.
I would never fall asleep on movie night. I don't know what you guys are talking
Oh
about.
no, Brookie, never.
No, see, I'm glad Notch agrees with me. My favorite
I'm like
TV.
the only person in the community that doesn't either get completely shit-faced drunk on the stream or fall asleep on the stream. Like maybe me and Cy.
Well, man, I tell you what, you're going at a movie for like 8 hours, and you've already been, going all day, and it's okay. So I'm coming on 24 hours without sleep here.
Yeah,
That's the right thing for us because it's just through the day. It's just perfect timing for us.
Yeah, see,
it really is.
and Nacha, I will say this. I have one thing to ask you. When the new year rolls around for you, please do not spoil the flying cars that are supposed to be coming.
Yeah,
No, okay.
For you, sweetie, it starts about 3 p.m.
What's this? The
movie night for you starts about 3 p.m.
Yeah, roughly in that.
Yeah, about there. What, 2 depends. Yeah, between 1 and 3 depends on when it actually starts.
Well, yeah. I mean, it might come on the air at 3, but then it's 4 before we get into the movie.
Oh, Diana, you're acting like we try and stall to avoid stupid.
We wouldn't do that now, would we?
No, especially if it's what I suggested. Any of those.
Brookie, were you around this last time when we actually made to
an hour
of stalling?
Yeah,
okay.
I was there. I left shortly after the movie started. I think because I was getting tired.
Why do I always have the memory of movie night? I always remember the commentary, but I never remember the actual movie.
The movies are shit.
Oh, I don't remember which one it was, but there was one that the movie was just again, it was shit, but then again, that's not surprising, and it was boring as hell. Like it wasn't even interesting to engage in, so I just started watching the chat, and I don't remember who it was. I want to say it was, I want to say it was Crypto and Drafting Master got into an hour and a half debate in the comments about whether or not triangles actually existed. That was more entertaining than what was going on with movie night.
Okay.
It's not that, yeah. I mean, that. Sometimes we'll just have movies that not only might be boring, but then it's hard to make something fun out of it.
Yeah, it was one of those. I was one of the flurfers that always used like a Google Docs thing. This was a while ago. I mean, I have a lot of respect for drafting. I haven't seen them around lately. God, I mean, I know they're busy, so it doesn't surprise me. But I have a lot of respect for drafting and what he's done with his niece and that. He's a really cool guy for that. Also pretty funny. He's also pretty funny. I remember one in Jared's stream, he was talking about it, and he's apparently former Air Force. And someone said, the Air Force member, I think it was Squirrel was in there, said, we don't have enough pillows or something like that, for an Air Force member. And he responded with, this joke went to him, was, I don't need pillows. Just give me my teddy bear and blanket and I'll be fine. I'm a tough Air Force member or something like that. I was like, that's horrible.
Yeah.
But it was funny. It was funny. Because he's basically like, oh, you want to insult me by saying, I need pillows? Nope. I'll just go ahead and insult myself even worse. But basically his niece wants to, well, last I heard, wants to be a meteorologist and like all these things, and he's been doing everything to foster that wanting to learn. And
Yay.
basically, whatever, like the simple science experiments, like because she wanted to be a meteorologist, I think it was the one that cited with the barometer. He built that with her and ended up, um, I think, they were trying to predict weather patterns, with that. And she was trying to make
Okay.
predictions based on that for a science fair experiment. And I was like, that's actually relatively, cool that, that he's doing that. I do not like drafting though for one thing. And it's only if Nadine's in the chat, then I hate him. He's my other rival besides, Josiah.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. And it, I hate
Yeah.
him because he will get me going to Nadine crying foul because he'll say something, twist what I say, and then throw it in my face and go, "That's not what I meant." You know it.
I don't know, Bob. Some weird shit has been going on with the mod status with a few people over the last day or so. It looked like a few people lost their mod status. I had to give it back to them. So I don't know if that happened with you or if I never, for some reason, gave you a mod status, which slapped me down for that one.
Yeah.
No, I tell you what's really, really freaking weird here. I learned drafting before there was CAD.
Yeah.
So
We
God, I'm
had a
old.
yeah, yeah. We
Well,
had
I
to
learned I learned
learn.
drafting in 1971.
Yeah, we had to learn it. We had to learn it by hand first before we like our first semester was all hand drawing except for one class.
Okay.
Because the reason they gave was, what if there's like a power outage for like a month, like there's a bad storm that goes through and you don't have power for a month, how are you going to work? If you don't have access to computers, you got to be able to go back to the basics.
Am
Pencil and
I
paper.
am I
Uh-huh.
really really quiet again? What the heck is
No, you're
going
right.
on here?
No.
No,
No,
you're
Bub
right.
you're
Yeah.
good.
Bub seems to think I'm really really quiet, and I'd really like to know what it
No.
is about all this stuff that does that. Well, then again, I'm the weird one who doesn't run Windows, so that might be part of it.
Well,
If
there's
I
your
could mute,
problem.
if I could mute this while I could listen to the live stream, I could. Um, I can't figure that one out.
Yeah. Um.
I'm just
No,
going
you can't
to.
mute the Hangouts input.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
That'd be handy, that,
You
if we
wouldn't
could
want
do
to
that.
anyway, though, as far as that goes. I mean, we couldn't hear you
um,
cussing and swearing over there.
yeah. I
Uh,
will. I do have a friend who used Windows, but they had me look at it one time. This was back when Windows 8 came out, so it's been a while. But I had to laugh because they wanted me to look at their computer and fix it. And I turn it on. I see Windows Vista pop up. I'm like, well, there's your problem.
Okay, apparently it is more than
yeah.
just it's more than just Bubs that can't hear you very well. Apparently Doc can't either. And
Oh man, I don't know
Purple
what's
says you're
happening.
quieter.
I don't know what's
Do you
happening.
have
Something's happening all by itself, and I cannot.
you have access to your
Wait a minute.
control room on the side?
Yeah, I was just
You know,
there, and I was doing. Okay, wait a minute. Let me try something here. Is this starting to sound better as I do this? I found out that the main
you're a lot louder
soundboard
to us.
was turned down, and I'm trying to get it up here. Come on, you. No, shut up, all of you.
I thought it might be if there's any system settings for your audio
Yeah,
mic
that's what I'm
input
changing
might be
right
low.
now. Am I any better to you guys? I just
You're
found
louder.
in my system settings that my microphone had adjusted itself down. I turned it all the way up again, and watch this. It'll probably turn it back down. It's already turning it back down. It's amazing. I want to know why. I want to know why Ubuntu does that. Because
Well,
That is one of the things that it does to
I,
my.
I can explain it. I know why. I think.
It
See,
doesn't want to hear me.
what's the mascot of Lennox? A penguin, right? And we all know that penguins guard the ice ball with their lasers. So therefore, because it's a penguin and Ubuntu, I don't know, maybe you can find a laser somehow in there. You get, therefore that proves it's a government conspiracy against you.
So much for that idea. Oh, I have a recording of that, and I've got to work it into one of my videos one of these days. Where you get the
laser
dang
penguins?
darn.
No. The best one is bum banana.
Okay, so I did. Okay,
And
turn audio leveling off. I'll give that a shot as soon as I find it.
no,
Yeah,
Nacho, you're
we're
way off. That's not what that is.
I know, Numpty. I was doing another one.
You, Sweetness, are about the only other person I've heard use the term numpty. The first person I'd ever heard use that term was Wildwood Claire. If you ever have an afternoon where you really don't have much to do, binge watch this lady. She's not making videos anymore, but she was a petroleum geologist. And she's got some wonderful geology based videos.
She's only using her knowledge of geology to help, suppress the truth of God.
In unrighteousness, she didn't remember to use that.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I forgot that. Yeah. I'm a bad theist. My bad.
Well, it's not the truth of God, it's the assertion of God.
But yes, I have all the Dragnet shows on MP3. I'm ashamed to say it. I have that. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. That's another good one. I bet Diana remembers these.
Oh, of course I do.
Enter Sanctum is. There's one in there I absolutely hate. It is creepy as hell and still creeps the fuck out of me. Then again, I have a fear of dolls, so that might be part of it.
I'm not seeing anything immediately as I look up audio leveling, but I'll look and I'll try to find it, because what this is doing to me is quite annoying, the way it adjusts my audio down. And then you guys can't hear. Well, maybe you guys like not being able to hear me. Maybe that's why it's doing it.
I have to point something out in the chat. Vibrantly Brantley said pineapples are only good on pizza. Pineapples are good by themselves. They are good on pizza. They belong on pizza.
I'm not going to get into that again.
What?
Yeah,
Did
I don't
miss
know.
that?
It might be on a version other than this one. I'm running 1604 on this machine. I have tried running 1804, and it drives me nuts. It's on this machine anyway. It's not stable at all, so I really cannot go to it.
You sound a lot louder than everybody else when we're listening to you on live stream.
Okay, so I will turn things down a little bit, and I will do it in no, I didn't want to do that. I wanted the control panel. I'll do it here in the Hangout, because my Hangout's turned all the way up. Let's see if that works better.
Yeah, we hear you loud, so I don't know what the live stream
I
is.
adjusted my Hangout level down a little bit. One of these days, I am going to get this thing to do audio right for once. It's something I definitely need to learn before this time next year. And there you go. Same time next year. Does anybody know that one? That reference?
Alan
Burstyn.
We're saying no.
Time. What comes to mind is same bat time, same bat channel. That's what comes to mind for me.
Oh man, what I'm thinking of is a sweet motion picture. I think it was done for television. And the subject matter Ken Ham wouldn't like. It's two people each married to other people who have a chance encounter at some inn or something like this, and they end up having their affair go on same time next year. And it's a very, very sweet motion picture. It really is.
When I think of people with multiple people, what comes to mind actually is Boning with Tony Curtis, where he
Oh
has
man, that one is so yes.
That's what I think of. Where he has like 4 girlfriends, and he tries to keep them all straight, and then they all apparently are in the town at the same time, and it goes.
And they're all
bad.
stewardesses, by the way, which is the film. And I'm trying to remember, is that Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon?
I think it had Jack Lemmon in it. I think. Another really good old comedy, which it just had all the greats at the time of it, is It's a Mad World. That is hilarious.
I haven't seen that in ages.
Yeah, it's good. I have the Blu-ray of it.
Yeah, it's one of those films where you describe it as starring everybody.
yes, very much so. I was trying to what do you mean by that? I've said that. I'm like, it has everybody who was anybody in it who was a comic. I mean, Jack Benny makes a cameo for Pete's sake.
Yes.
And Rochester as a cab driver. That was funny. It was a good show. A good movie. It really was. I enjoy it and still laugh at it to this very day. It's very
Sorry, I was getting distracted by the side chat. We seem to be having a war going on.
Oh, they're all wrong unless they're on my side. We all know pineapple is a pizza.
No pineapple on pizza.
Terry?
What?
Don't make me boot
What are you talking about, Terry? You're an Australian.
No.
We outnumber you 2-1, and Diana's vote doesn't count. Unless she's on our side, then it counts.
Okay, we'll put a vote to the side.
I just looked this up. Number one, it was released later than I thought. Later than I thought it was. November 7th, 1963 is when this was premiered. But God, look at this. Starring Spencer Tracy, Milton Berle, Sid Caesar, Buddy Hackett, Ethel Merman, Mickey Rooney, Dick Shawn, Phil Silvers, Terry Thomas, Jonathan Winters, Edie Adams, Dorothy Provine, and the list goes on and on and on. Oh my!
It was a who's who of comedy. It really was.
When they say all-star cast, they meant it.
Oh yeah, I need to find a way to do that. Because if I think I might have a digital copy. If I can figure out OBS, I would love to do like a hangout with people, like just like Nacha, even you, and we just it's not broadcasted. We just sit there and just watch it or watch movies like that.
And the fun part about that film is what you've got here. When they talk about the running time, the original cut ran 210 minutes. Okay, that's 3.5 hours, guys.
Yeah, it's straight gags. That's all it is. It's nothing but gags.
The theatrical cut ran 161. So you're still maybe 20 minutes short of 3 hours.
Yeah, it's definitely a worth it movie to watch. It really is.
Absolutely.
It is. If you have not seen it, you need to. It is funny. It is hilarious. It is just very fast-paced comedy. I mean, how someone described it, I've never seen it, so you might have seen it, Diana. You might be able to tell me if it's wrong, but basically they said it was the original Rat Race, is how they described it.
Okay, that would work.
Okay, yeah, so it's a damn good movie. It is hilarious as hell. It is a who's who of comedy, and it's, I mean, just the W is just great.
The starring that I read off there, that's only the beginning, because you look here
the cameos.
In the font of all knowledge, when you go to the cameos, Jonathan Winters, let's see who else we've got here. Edie Adams.
Was that the mom or the wife? The mother-in-law? Was that the mother-in-law?
Who?
Edie Adams.
Oh, that was Crump's wife.
Yeah. Okay, that was the wife, not the mother-in-law. Okay.
Yeah. Jim Backus showed up.
Yeah.
He was the pilot of.
I had oh shit, Buttkiss, Mr. Magoo, Thurston Howell the Third. Oh
Yeah,
god,
that's Jim Backus. Yeah.
Backus. I always want to say Bucket. I know that's not right. Yeah, he was funny. He was the pilot, and a neat, interesting bit about that when the plane flies through the dining hall. That was actually real. That was done live. There were people that close to the prop. That was real people running literally for their lives as the plane flew through the dining hall. That was not double scene layover. That was literally how it was.
Oh my.
That was what you see. It's one of those really neat little trivial things. And if anyone's seen Ben Hur, there's a fun little, well, not really a fun, but it's an interesting little tidbit on the chariot race. If
Oh, to do with the gas cylinder.
what?
Ben Hur, don't you know that when you can see the gas cylinder under the chariot?
Yeah. Yeah, that guy actually
right.
And Cecil B. DeMille, if I remember correctly, wanted to cut that little scene, that little bit, but the family asked him to leave it in honor because he was a stuntman, and they wanted to honor him by showing basically him doing what he loved. He died doing what he loved. So yeah, if you watch that, that's literally someone who died on camera. He actually died when the guy got run over by the chariot in the chariot race.
Okay. Oh God, look at these cameo appearances. Seriously.
It was a Jimmy Durante. Can't forget
Jack
him.
Benny, Paul Birch, Ben Blue, Joe E. Brown, Alan Carney, Chick Chandler, Barry Chase, John Clark, Stanley Clements, Lloyd Corrigan, Howard Da Silva, Andy Devine, Selma
Howard Da
Diamond.
Silva was in there?
Yeah, he was the police officer at the airport, uncredited.
Okay. I'll have to re-look for him because when I think of Howard Da Silva, I actually think of only one thing. And people probably don't know him from this. What I know him from is Ben Franklin, 1776.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen the film 1776.
It was done by the original Broadway production. That was kind of.
Oh, okay. So I've seen it.
Funny thing is, Howard Da Sevilla was on the original Broadway production, but if you listen to the original Broadway cast recording, he is not on it. His understudy actually stepped in for that because he had to be rushed to the hospital because I think he had like a really bad fever, but he finished the show and they were doing the recording like right after that performance. So while he was in the hospital, his understudy had to step in to do the recording.
Okay. Oh man, cameo appearances. Mo Howard, Larry Fine, and Curly Joe DeRita.
Yep, they were the firefighters.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I saw that, I'm like, I had a pause. I'm like, holy shit, that's what they. I'm like,
I'd forgotten about that.
I'm glad I wasn't on that play because I would be scared with them that's the firefighters because knowing them, they would probably hook it up to gasoline to sell water.
Yes. Che taperoste. What did I just say? I have no idea.
And Curly was not an original Stooge. He was not one of the original ones. It was
no, Curly Joe was not the original.
No, Curly Howard wasn't either.
Yeah. Pardon me?
Because Shemp Howard was the original. Curly Howard came in after. Then Curly Howard had to leave because he had health issues, and Shemp took back over.
Okay.
But Curly Howard, Larry Moe and Curly was not the original Stooges. Although Curly Howard is known more as as one of the Stooges because he was kind of there during their prime, but he was not the original Stooge.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, I love movie trivia. Maybe I should change my degree to theater or get a third major in theater. Why not, right? I'm only double majoring, double minoring.
Brookie, you're having some interesting times just right now. So
I was
get
so,
yourself back on track, and then worry about changing your major.
oh no, I won't change it. I'll just add on to it.
Okay, well that's even worse.
Hey, I've considered doing when I go for a master's in history, getting a minor in theater. That's one I've considered. Just why? Just for the hell of it. Because why are majors there? To be accomplished. Because I've said I want to do a minor, and a friend told me who's in theater said, no, don't
Oh
do it.
man.
And I go, why shouldn't I do a minor? She goes, what are you considering doing with your anthropology minor? Making it a full major. So what are you going to want to do with your theater minor? Make it a full major. She goes, exactly. You're going to what? Have 4 majors and 1 minor? You're never going to leave school. I go, and that's bad. Why?
Oh man, I tell you, I wish I could be in academia right now. Well, my advisor had asked me this second time around if I wanted an MD PhD, and I was thinking that I was too old for that at the time, and well, I wouldn't have made it anyway because I didn't make my PhD anyway. But
Yeah. I want to get my PhD in history, American Revolution.
Because I'm thinking here, I'm 35 years old, and you do the MD, and that's Jesus Christ, that's what 5 years after undergrad, and then that's not even including the PhD in neuroscience that I wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been going to school until like right now.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Okay, you're
myself.
62 now. You can work in a lab. Now you can have your lab. It's like, thanks a lot.
Wait! You haven't done your clinicals yet, and your internships yet. You can't get your own lab yet.
Yeah, you got that point going there.
Yeah, no, I want to get my doctorate in history at some point, but I also like. I don't know. I love theater, and it would be fun to do if I got the theater major. I could come back and also teach theater history and things like that. So I mean, heck, I've already changed my major once here.
I'm just so happy that my friend Al was able to do what he wanted to do with his theater major. I mean, he's doing what he loves right now, and that's the important thing.
Yeah,
At least he had support from family.
Yeah, with me, I would love to, like, next spring. If I don't make the play, I would, which knowing me, I might not, unless they want to cast me in a male role. But if I can make the play, that would be great. If not, I would love to be a stagehand because they're doing Macbeth next spring, not this spring.
Oh yay!
And of course, we know how much I love Shakespeare.
Yeah, you absolutely hate Shakespeare.
Yeah, they're Flint words there, Diana.
Oh my!
But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing like other things with theater as well if I could. Just I love theater. I always have, and I would love to be a voice. Like my ultimate dream job would be to be a voice actress.
Oh man, it's strange the throat though.
Oh yeah, I know. But I can do all the different voices that I do and I've done, which I think I could have a lot of fun with. I know you got to be able to really work your voice, so.
Yeah, you want to see what a voice actor is capable of. Going out to Truth Surge's channel. He is a voice actor. And
yeah, when I think voice acting, if you want to know what it is, Mel Blanc. There you go. That.
Well, Mel Blanc. Well, wasn't throat cancer his downfall?
I think I'm not for sure, but I mean, he could do. I mean, hell, like 99% of the original Looney Tunes was him.
Yes.
Like, I think he didn't do Tweety and Granny. I think were like the only like 2 that he didn't have a part of. I don't think he did Foghorn Leghorn, did he? I don't think he did.
He did not do Elmer Fudd.
Oh, he didn't do Elmer. Okay, so there's like a small handful. but odds are, if you guess a Looney Tune, he's behind it.
Mm-hmm.
That's guaranteed. That's almost like, uh, oh crap, what's his name? One of my favorite ones, just because he's so fun to just do his voice. I can't think of his name right now, but the guy, just because it's fun to say his signature line of, "Well," you guys know. I'm got like that was his signature thing. He played the devil in Satan's Awaiting.
Okay, I don't remember that one.
It was the one where Yosemite Sam he's trying to catch Bugs Bunny and he keeps getting set back by the devil to catch him, and he's like goes as a Roman guard, um
Damn, I've got to look that one up.
I found the thing for it. Hold on, let me see if I can. Who was it that who played the
I'll have to go, guys.
Well, thank you for being around, Terry. And
What is it? It's like 10 to 5 there.
Yeah. I've got something to do if I haven't already mentioned.
Gee, wouldn't know what that is. Yeah, before you get yourself castrated for not doing it.
I'd like to hang out a bit longer, but there's always next time.
Yes, there is. There is going to be a next time, definitely, because I've got a 1,000 Twitter follower celebratory live stream coming up. I don't know exactly when, but it will be within the next couple of weeks.
Do you have anything? Do you have anything planned, Notcha, before Christmas? Before New Year, sorry.
Notcha, you awake?
He was in the live stream a minute ago.
Well, wait a minute. His background stopped moving. I wonder if he froze.
Yeah, it's not moving. I'll see you again, Brookie. I might see you on movie night.
Yay! Yeah, that's all kinds of fun.
I don't know. That'll be next week, wouldn't it? There wouldn't be anything between now and then. I don't think.
Well, we're not going to have another movie night until my wall calendar's getting dated here, and I know that's
We have one this Friday, right? That would be the 4th, I believe.
There will be the one on the 4th of January. Yeah, between the 4th and 5th.
Yeah, that'll be a Tuesday or Wednesday here. Yeah, probably the Wednesday.
No, that would be a Saturday.
Yeah, I was going to say the 4th is Friday.
January. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong calendar.
You're looking at December. Yeah, I have to get out to the local Barnes and Noble if I want another Ansel Adams wall calendar. Oh, my favorite photographer.
Yeah,
there you are, sweetie.
We get one from over in Scotland every year from a relative on my wife's side. Sends one from Edinburgh.
Okay. Ansel Adams is my all-time favorite photographer. Absolute. Boy, that man could do work. Knew how to manipulate black and white. Oh, beautiful stuff.
Okay, then. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, you take care, sweetie. Be good.
Bye-bye.
And I think maybe at the top of the hour, I'll probably start wrapping this stuff up. Nadja, you there? I don't know here. I wonder if this is starting to act up. Because Brooke, did you say something that I didn't hear?
No, I haven't said anything.
Okay, because it flashed to your.
Trying to find that one that's like that I know it's in here, and I'm trying to find out who played the devil in it, because it's the guy who did the like that was what he was known for, was saying that. Like that's what his like big line was, and it's gonna bug me until I figure out who the hell it freaking was.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, if you're getting tired, you could always watch the video I sent you. That will keep you up for wondering how.
There you go. That'll keep me up forever.
Yeah, like literally, his opening screen says this, and you could go ahead and hate me for it. Like if you click on the video, the opening bit that he has says, "Fight the system, stand up for yourself, stand up for your children, stand up for the truth, stand up for God, stand up for Christ. Men are supposed to be brave. Stop being afraid of the derogatory term for trans people."
Oh, bullshit.
That's how he opens the video. So yeah, you want to
Okay,
you
so not just
definitely
fell off again.
yeah. Again,
Again.
do you say Winda as well?
Pardon me?
Do you say Winda as well?
Oh, let's see. That's a window.
Okay, good. Yeah, at least I
No,
had to
I
say
do
that.
not do window. I do not do. I don't do windows and I don't do winders.
Oh, I really don't got much room to talk on how to pronounce these because I'll say Colorado, and I know
Okay, whereas
Colorado and Chicago.
to hear it
Those
out
are
of me, it'll sound like Colorado.
yeah. It's I mean, at least we know that you don't have to wash the car.
Oh man, the um, the accent that grates on my nerves worse than Pittsburgh, if you can believe that there is something that grates on my nerves worse than Pittsburgh, is is that really sharp Boston accent.
Yeah, yeah. Like so it was I had to laugh at a picture because it says when you say you're trying to find your khakis. And it has a picture of this is what you mean. And it has a picture of khaki pants. It said, what it means in Boston is just a picture of car keys.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm like, that's funny.
Oh my. Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, everybody is falling off here.
I'm
Um,
not. I'm still
you
awake.
guys. Okay, we got this stuff, and I'm starting. Tell you what, I'm starting to fade actually, and
Yeah.
yeah, people up there sound like that. So I'll tell you what, everybody. It's 5 minutes to 1 a.m. here in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. So if you guys don't mind, I know we're up to 11 watching, but that's what can I tell you here? We've been at this for, well, let's see. I see 3 hours on there. Let me look over here. Um, let's turn that off. Okay, I'm looking for the right one here. There we go. Oh, 2 hours and 59 minutes that we've been running here.
Yeah. Can I point
So,
something out real quick?
say again?
Can I say one thing real quick?
Oh, absolutely.
Something Christy said in the chat about Mac. He debated Nephilim free tonight, and it was.
Oh, Lord. So Nephi is trying to be relevant again.
I guess. I mean, he apparently debated Shannon Q at one point last week or something like that. I don't know who I'm gonna end up debating, but it was on Modern Day Debate, and I'm hoping to have one set up with them where I get to debate intelligent design. And obviously, it's not going to end well for whoever I go against because my
Obviously.
the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to ask them a question like two times. They fail to answer both times and satisfy an answer as to why that would be a good design. I will then look at the camera and go, please let the record show that they failed to answer the question. And then move on to the next one.
Alrighty
So, yeah.
then.
I don't know who it's going to be with. I'm hoping to shoot for what day did I say would work for me? I think I said I prefer on the 12th because they said any Saturday would probably work. So I probably won't even really prepare much. I probably won't even prep because I've debated this topic so much and I know so much on it that I was just like, I'll go in, cold. I mean, I know all the points. And yeah, they can point to these random things. All right, fine. But if you have a perfect, infallible God who's supposed to be intelligent, I shouldn't find any issues.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So here's hoping on that one. But
Yeah,
seriously, guys, it's just about there, and I'm gonna have to say I'm thanking every one of you for coming by. Wonderful doing this, and Happy New Year to every one of you. And as they say in Lavender Ladyland, thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.